We're on Rumble. One day I hope for a producer to take care of all this fucking bullshit with me, for me. Okay. I'm just going to double check all my feeds here. Everyone bear with me. Apologize about my fucking Alzheimer's medication or whatever the fuck the young little lady was bringing up. It was actually a sleeping pill that helps you sleep. Not that anyone gives a shit. Alright. Alright, that shows live as well. Alright, I'm going to cut the sound so we don't have any issues. For what it's worth, I'm going to try and grab people on TikTok, at least until they ban me completely. I've already got a ban. Waiting. So I imagine this episode today, when we're talking about trannies and freakos and hermaphrodites, will probably be the final nail in the coffin. But let's see how it all plays out, and if I can behave myself. My personal guess is I cannot. Okay. They've been throttling me on YouTube. I'm TikTok. I am absolutely fighting to get new followers, and I think the commie pieces of shit on TikTok have absolutely throttled me. So my video doesn't get out that far. My updates don't get out that far. I used to get, as I was doing better, because I have 630 followers, something like that, or 628. And I was getting followers every day. Every time I did an update, I was getting followers every day. And then it got to a point when TikTok started coming after me where I couldn't get anybody anymore. As a matter of fact, I was losing people here and there as we went on. So TikTok has actually absolutely been fucking me over. But the primary sources of freedom of speech are YouTube and Rumble. And I hesitate to say YouTube because they're bad as well, but they are not as bad as TikTok, so I will give them that. But and then Rumble, I mean, you could say Santa Claus lives on the moon, and Rumble wouldn't remove you for it. So Rumble really is a free speech platform, and I'm really appreciative of Rumble. I invest in Rumble, and Rumble's a competitor for YouTube, and I encourage everyone to check out Rumble if you haven't already, and set up an account there and check videos out there. Rumble is a great platform. It's a freedom of speech platform. It is way better than the commies at TikTok and way better than the commies at YouTube as well. So, okay. So, hello everyone and welcome to the Sunday Shitbag Roundup. I haven't been able to do this in a little bit. It's been... I end up not finding the time for it or what have you, and then it ends up being the Monday after Sunday Shitbag Roundup. So I'm actually doing a Sunday Shitbag Roundup today, and we're going to be talking about the shooter of Charlie Kirk, his life, because he's a freako, mentally ill loser, and we're going to talk about some of the other left-wing losers here that have been losing their jobs en masse. I mean, some of the numbers I'm getting right now is almost 700 people have lost their jobs for celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. This has ranged from nurses, anesthesiologists, working at offices, computer firms, what have you. They're all over the place, these pieces of shit. And they've all lost their jobs. And I wanted to start, before we get into the Charlie shooter, because there's a lot more information coming out about this freako now, and we're going to get into it. Let's look at the hermaphrodites at Office Max, Office Pro. What the fuck are these losers called? Office Depot. So, if you've been hearing about this story, conservatives are demanding the immediate firing of these leftist Office Depot employees for refusing to print Charlie Kirk vigil posters, with one saying, "We don't print propaganda." No, you dumb bitch. You print whatever you're fucking told to. You're a $5 hour employee, and there's only one fucking reason you're there. So, for anyone that's seen this, their vigils have been popping up for Charlie Kirk all over the place. And see, as conservatives, we don't burn cities down, and we don't rob Advance Auto Parts and rob Targets and Nike stores. We actually do things of actual consequence that have meaning and have something attached to it. So while the left burns cities down for a fentanyl user of George Floyd, we hold vigils for Charlie Kirk. We hold memorials for Charlie Kirk. These people wanted to make posters for a vigil for Charlie Kirk, and these two disgusting hermaphrodites that worked at Office Depot didn't want to assist them with that. They didn't want to do their job. They're there to assist you with printing out what you come to ask. If I go in there and I say, both of you are dumb, ugly cunts, they should print that out too. But they didn't want to do their job, so here's some of what happened.
Thank you. So, we came in for an order.
So here's fat hermaphrodite number one on the left that looks like a fat dude, but that's supposed to be a woman. And then fat hermaphrodite number two on the right, and this is allegedly a woman as well. And you can see how they treat these people that come in for the Charlie Kirk vigil posters.
Order earlier to print a poster for a vigil tonight.
Yeah, so
for somebody that passed. It's not.
It's propaganda. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm sorry. It's propaganda. I'm sorry. I'm a fat cunt.
So, what's your name?
Farrell, I'm print supervisor.
I'm one of the managers.
Yeah.
I'm one of the managers. Not the fuck more you ain't, bitch.
So, unfortunately.
You see how she says it? The fat hermaphrodite on the left goes, yeah, I'm one of the managers. And the second one goes, yeah, I'm a supervisor. And the other one goes, yeah, I'm a manager. I'm in charge of Office Depot. Some people say I own Office Depot. No, bitch. You're an underpaid, useless minion who has one fucking job. And your one job is to print whatever customer comes in and asks for, including it could be a picture of your dumb hermaphrodite face.
Unfortunately,
So they say they don't print political propaganda. So this is somebody that...
No, we don't print political propaganda. But if I said I want a picture full of trannies, these two would have said, oh my God, that's amazing. We'll have it done in 15 minutes. But they don't do propaganda, though.
Unfortunately, I'm
So
sorry.
this is for a prayer tonight, for a prayer vigil?
It's still propaganda, unfortunately.
I printed-
What makes-
Unfortunately, this cow's in the unemployment line now.
I don't have to. Yeah.
Our general manager is going to be in on Monday. If you
No,
want to
it's
speak
totally
further
okay.
on
No,
the
we-
subject.
Oh, your fucking general manager's going to be on Monday, all right, bitch, and both of you just lost your fucking jobs. So here we go. Office Depot fires employee for refusing to print Charlie Kirk posters, calling them propaganda. An Office Depot worker was caught on camera refusing to fulfill an order for flyers advertising a vigil for slain conservative firebrand Charlie Kirk has been fired, the company said. The Boca Raton-based office supply chain said it was deeply concerned by the unfortunate customer experience that took place at his Portage, Michigan store. The behavior, displayed by our associate, is completely unacceptable and insensitive, violates our company policies, and does not reflect the values we uphold at Office Depot, the company said in a statement to the Post Friday. Here's the fat hermaphrodite right here who was like, I should have you know I'm the manager. No, you're a dumb cunt that doesn't have any real power. And your only job is to print shit out when people walk in and ask for it. That's it. You're not the fucking Queen of England. You're not the Queen of Office Depot. In fact, you're not the Queen of anything useful. You're a dumb piece of shit. Just do your fucking job. On behalf of the company, we sincerely apologize for this regrettable situation. The retailer also said it would reach out to the customer as soon as it learned of the incident to address their concerns and to seek fulfillment of their order to their satisfaction. Yeah, I would have said, I want all of these printed. I want 5,000 printed out, and I want you to slam them over this hermaphrodite's head. I want you to bury her underground on top of the fucking flyers that I want. That's my satisfaction. See, I'll be off TikTok in no time. Video of the Friday incident has amassed more than 4.4 million views since it was posted online Friday evening. In the clip, a person could be heard asking a trio of store employees about an order they came to pick up. Yeah, so we don't print propaganda, said one of the hermaphrodites. A woman who identifies herself as store manager could be heard telling the store. Now she identifies as unemployed. It's propaganda. I'm sorry. We don't print that here, she continues in the 48-second long video, which was posted by Michigan Forward Network, a conservative political advocacy group. When the person recorded asked what makes the posters propaganda, the worker replied, because he's a political figure. It's not your fucking place to decide. You go to Office Depot to print whatever the fuck you want. It doesn't matter if it's political. You dumb cunts print whatever the customer comes in with. Period. End of story. But these fucking left-wing, fat, disgusting hermaphrodites don't like Charlie Kirk, so they didn't want to print it out. Now, both of these dumb bitches are in the unemployment line for not doing the one fucking job that you have, which is sit on your fat ass. And when a customer comes in and says, print something, you say, no problem. Is there anything else I can do? You are a nobody. No one cares about you. If you died tomorrow, we wouldn't give a fuck. Just do your fucking job at Office Depot. When the person recording asked what makes the posters propaganda, the worker replied, because he's a political figure, before another employee interjects to say the general manager will be in on Monday. He certainly fucking is. He's going to fire both your asses. And that's exactly what happened. The posters include the phrase, the legendary Charlie Kirk, 1993 to 2025, over a black and white image of Kirk, 31, who was shot dead while speaking at Turning Point USA event at Utah Valley University on Wednesday, allegedly by a 22-year-old Utah man, Tyler Robinson. There's nothing alleged about it. He was the one that did it. The video sparked fierce backlash online, where thousands of commentators called on the retailer to act. So it's my understanding at this point that at least one of these hermaphrodites have been fired. And potentially the second fat hermaphrodite might lose their job as well. But the one that claimed it was a manager and it was the decider of all things in Office Depot. These fat hermaphrodites are the rulers and owners of Office Depot. And if they say you can't print something, you're not allowed to print it. So these hermaphrodites have been fired. If one has only been fired, that is not enough at all. And they had better. There's the hermaphrodite that thought that she was the manager. And she was the one that said, I'm not going to do the one job that I'm here for at Office Depot. And they wanted to print out these posters right here on the right, the legendary Charlie Kirk, 1993 to 2025. And these leftist pieces of trash didn't want to do it because they don't like Charlie Kirk and they're glad he's dead. Now, this fat cunt is in the unemployment line, and I hope she never gets a job, and I hope she has to live under a bridge where she has to suck tranny cock. And that's what these people deserve. Now, Owen Schroyer and it's Sabat. What's the other one here? He's been lighting them up with leftists getting fired from multiple jobs. It's been absolutely amazing. These people that have gone on and have said, we're so happy that Charlie Kirk's dead, and they're libs of TikTok. And then why the fuck can't I find the other one? I'll go to my profile. Relief Valve Podcast on X. Elon Musk has been saying we have to fight back. Benny Johnson, the same as well. Robbie Starbuck. If anyone remembers, if anyone has been following Robbie Starbuck, he has been big against going against these left-wing corporations. His most recent endeavor has been Cracker Barrel. So he went after Cracker Barrel hard. And along with the outcry from all of the rest of the public, they ended up reeling in their change of their restaurants. They ended up reeling in the god-awful change of their logo, because they have a left-wing nut job that's CEO. And I think the only thing they haven't done is fired that left-wing bitch. And that's what they need to do. So Robbie here is just saying, I just received an email from Office Depot, and CEO Jerry Smith, and he has assured me that the company has now fired all associates involved in this insane discrimination where they denied printing a Charlie Kirk memorial photo for a prayer vigil. Part of his statement is below. So both of those hermaphrodites have been killed. That's a Freudian slip right there. Fired. We continue to closely manage our response to the unfortunate customer experience. Oh, imagine if you can set a fire in them. All right, I'm going to compose myself. Response to the unfortunate customer experience that occurred at Office Depot Store 3382 in Portage, Michigan on September 12th. The behavior displayed by the associates was completely unacceptable and insensitive, violated our company policies, and did not reflect the values we uphold at Office Depot. On behalf of the company, we sincerely apologize for this regrettable decision. Upon learning of the incident, we immediately reach out to the customer to address their concerns. We also launched an immediate internal review, and as a result, the associates responsible are no longer with the organization. Amazing news. Both those hermaphrodites were fired, and that is 100% the way to do it. They had no right and no authority to tell those customers that came in that we want a prayer vigil photo for Charlie Kirk. So that was awesome. Robbie Starbuck, his Office Depot says they fired this worker. I want the other fired too. And then they follow up with, yes, we did do that. So even Libs of TikTok was putting this up too. A customer put in an order, paid for a poster for a vigil for Charlie, and the two hermaphrodites refused to print it because they said it's propaganda. This is the left. And there's a point that, aside from insulting these disgusting people, because it personally makes me feel better, there's an overall point I'm going to make as we go through this video here. And a lot of people are making this over the past couple of days. Nick Fuentes is saying something similar, but he's saying that, the ones that celebrate Charlie Kirk's death should be gotten rid of and eliminated. But then he also says there shouldn't be any violence, which how do you eliminate them without violence is my question. But some people are having the right idea, and that it's that these radical left-wing scumbags, they cannot be negotiated with. You cannot have a common sense conversation with them. You cannot meet in the middle and have a discussion with these people and come to either a common consensus or somewhere where both sides can agree on a couple of things and you can make positive changes moving forward. I've tried this in the past, which is the reason where my show is going to turn some people off. You're not going to like that I'm crass. You're not going to like that I'm vulgar. And there's a reason that I've come to this point in doing this show. Maybe some people will accept and understand that, and others won't, and you'll go in your own direction, and I understand that. But early on, when I started really getting into politics, I took the talking points from other content creators, podcasters, etc., that said, don't resort to violence, don't resort to anger. You need to be better than the other side, and you need to have a conversation with the other side. And then again, as I previously referenced, you need to come together somewhere in the middle with some sort of commonality, and then find a way for both sides to coexist. As time went on, I found that was not actually a reality. You can't coexist with the other side. The left are mentally ill. Nine out of 10 of them are mentally ill. They live in their own fantasy world. They are not seeing things the same as you and I. If there's someone that they disagree with, it isn't, okay, I'm going to go ahead and disagree with them and let's have a conversation about it. It's let me get a weapon and let me hurt them. That's how the left approaches everything. You can't have conversations with people like that. And for anyone that would like to argue with me and say that's not true, you just have to put the effort in, I will reference Charlie Kirk and I will say, Charlie Kirk put the effort in. He went to colleges. He went to multiple venues. He had conversations with these people. He allowed them to voice their bullshit, idiotic, radical opinions. And he would counter those with common sense talk. And these people vilified him, attacked him, and then ultimately took his life. Okay? The reason the left is so violent is because they come from a standpoint where their conversation has no foundation. It has no merit. When I come to you and I say, Santa Claus lives on the moon, and you need to take my word for it that that's the case, and then when you say, that's ridiculous, Santa Claus isn't real, also he doesn't live on the moon, and then I go, you fascist, bigot, homophobe. And then I attack you, I throw things at you, and then I go online and I threaten violence on you. So do you see what happened in that scenario? I came up with a ridiculous circumstance that cannot possibly be true, and then I attacked everyone who said, that's ridiculous and that's not true. Instead of having a conversation and saying, can you please give me additional information on why Santa doesn't live on the moon? And then have a conversation about it and come to a consensus where I go, you know what? There's the potential that Santa doesn't live on the moon. But they don't do that. They say men can be women, and if you don't like that, you're a biggest racist, transphobe, and I'm going to attack you with a weapon. They say I can be non-binary. I can be whatever sex I want on whatever day of the week it is, and I will change them throughout the week, and then twice on Sundays. And if you don't do that, I will attack you with a weapon. They come to you with the most radical of circumstances, and then when you don't follow it and you don't comply, they attack you with violence. The reason they have to attack you with violence is the same premise as what I just told you about Santa Claus not living on the moon. Because you're not going to believe me, because the things I'm saying are absolutely idiotic with no premise or no background or foundation whatsoever. So I have to beat you over the head with something so that out of fear, you will say, okay, men can be women. Women can be men. And you can be non-binary. I don't really know what that means, but sure, it's a thing, and be that on whatever day you want. And then the more that you comply with their insanity, the worse they become. Because first it was trans people are people too. Trans is perfectly reasonable. It's perfectly normal. They have level heads on their shoulders. Then it morphed into, if a man doesn't want to be with a trans man, so a man becoming a woman, that biological man is a bigot and a homophobe. Do you see how it escalates to even more crazy when you affirm them? So now you have to affirm trans people. Then you have to be a straight male who says, I'm willing to date trans people. Or the trans and left community will say, you're a bigot, homophobe, transphobe, because you refuse to date a trans person. So the more you affirm them, the more the crazy line keeps getting moved, right? That goal line keeps getting moved to the point where there is no more line, assuming that you could take the first line seriously. Then it's everyone's trannies, and we're all just in crazy town. I mean, that's what the left want. They want a chaotic tranny utopia, and it's just everyone's crazy. Everyone does. It's the Mad Hatter. Anyone for Alice in Wonderland, right? It's the Mad Hatter. It's change places. And for no fucking reason. You already had a seat. You were fine. And then you have to run to a completely different seat before somebody else completely loses their mind. It's the Mad Hatter. It's change places. And there's never going to be any normality to the situation that you're dealing with. The more that you affirm the crazy, the worse it will become. Imagine, and about 10 years ago, this would have actually been a reality. Imagine if I started walking around every day and walking into my job as well. And I wore a cape and I had like a replica sword from Lord of the Rings and I put some elf ears on. And I said, I insist everybody call me the Lord of Rivendell. And in day-to-day life, people would, if they saw me walking down the street, they would very likely cross over to the other side, or anyone that stayed on my side would think this guy is a role player and he's staying at a camp somewhere and he's LARPing. And others would go, that's a mentally ill person. I'm going to go ahead and cross over to the other side of the road so I keep having a good day. And then I'd go to work and all of my coworkers would be absolutely just, it would start from the beginning of going, okay, this was worth a laugh. Thank you there, Lord of Rivendell. That was awesome. And then it turns into, oh, for fuck's sake, he's Lord of Rivendell still? It's been a month. And then it turns into 3 to 6 months and they're going, all right, can you just come in and do your job? We don't want to help you find the one ring. We don't want to kneel to you. We don't want to do any of that. Can we all just work and we don't want to play along in your fantasy? And this is what the left has turned into, and these trans communities and others, but they insist that you play by this game and their rules every single day. They're LARPing, L-A-R-P, which is live action role playing. And but they play this every single day. And you must play along with them every single day. And if you don't, you will face penalties and you will face repercussions. And the rest of us are going, listen, whatever you want to do behind closed doors, that's your business. If you want to dress up as a dog and have your partner put you on a leash and then paddle your ass into oblivion, go ahead and be our guest. But don't come onto the street, have a human in a dog suit piss on a fire hydrant, and then the owner with the person on the leash goes, oh, I'm sorry, I haven't potty trained my dog yet. Like, don't force us to comply with everything else. And this is what the left has done. And my point in making here is you can't argue reality with those people. Again, as the point that I made before, if I insist Santa Claus lives on the moon, and I feel so strongly about it that I will not let it go, come hell or high water, you cannot convince me of the reality that that's not the case. And in fact, I will become violent if you try to push the matter. That's the left. You can't negotiate with the left. And again, I'll say, as I said before, I started off during the Obama years where I really started paying attention to politics. And I started to try to have calm and common sense discussions with the left. With anyone that was on the other side of me as a conservative. And almost 100% of the time, let's say 99%, the other ones would just basically be, okay, agree to disagree. So I'm trying to talk to them about common sense, and they don't agree with it, and they don't buy it. But they were willing to say, let's agree to disagree. The other 99% are the ones that will become so violent that you won't see their point of view and adhere to their mental illness. They will attack you, and they will become violent. And what has happened with Charlie Kirk is the epitome of this point. You had a man who was willing to sit down and debate and give time on a microphone to the worst, misguided, uninformed, uneducated people, while ironically simultaneously being in college. Uninformed and uneducated people that would spout the worst garbage you've ever heard and that you would never subscribe to. And he would sit down under his tent or wherever he was and have this conversation with these people and debate them over the issues and break the thing down, the situation down, in order to see if maybe you could wake these people up a little bit, right? Like if I say water's wet and then you're arguing, no, it isn't. I'm non-binary and trans people are real. And I'm like, yeah, but water's wet though. Can we agree there and then move on? And they're like, no. I literally had an argument with a left person. A left person brought this up. And they were like, water isn't wet until you're submerged in it or something like that. They were making some ridiculous argument. They also made another argument that the sky wasn't blue because when you see it from orbit, it's a different color or something like that. The most ridiculous because they have to split hairs, and they have to have the most ridiculous argument with you, rather than just admit that men are men, women are women, the sky's blue, water's wet. But they refuse to agree with any of those commonalities. And the reason is because if they agree with any of those circumstances at all, then they also have to admit that they're insane. And what they're doing is a cosplay joke, not based on any reality whatsoever. So they can't. They have to attempt to come up with some sort of scientific argument about how you're not technically correct about what you're saying. So these people that are calling for calm, they're calling for vigils, they're calling for all of this. Listen, I'm just going to say right now, the left has already shown that they're willing to kill everyone that they can't have a conversation with. And it's because they have no basis to argue from whatsoever. They're not going to stop. This is how mentally ill these people are. They're out of control. They will use violence as their last resort, or even their middle of the road resort, in order to harm people. And it's not to get people to agree with what they're doing. It's fear, right? That's the essence of terror. Terrorism is scaring the populace into your narrative in your line of thought. That's what terrorism is. It says agree with what we're saying, or we will perpetrate acts of violence against you. And then you go, well, I don't want the violence. I have a family. I just want to live my life. And they go, great. So you support ISIS and Al-Qaeda then? And I go, well, I mean, not really. And they go, okay, well, we're going to blow your apartment building up. And then you go, okay, maybe I'll rethink how I feel about ISIS and Al-Qaeda. That is terrorism. These groups that are in the left wing, Antifa, radical leftists, where this kid was, and I'm going to get to this, I'm going to show you information on it, because apparently this Tyler kid was dating a trans person. They were also furries. So the people who are almost exclusively the homosexual community, so gays and lesbians in there, dress up as in large animal costumes, and they have sex with each other. So it's being shown now he was a furry. It is now the most recent information he's being shown that he was dating a trans person, and the trans person was working with him to obviously radicalize him as well. If you're with a trans person, your brain is not working right. So he was with a trans person, and the argument that's coming from the left right now, and in my town, I've been arguing with lefty morons for the past 4 days. And they've been trying to say, well, his entire family is Republican and conservative, and so was he. This was conservative on conservative violence. And that's not the case. His family was conservative and Republican. This kid branched off and went right off the deep end and down to the bottom. And he went hardcore, radical left, Antifa, trans ideology. He went for the whole deal. Now, I'm going to bring up one video here. So I'm going to get to this with TMZ, the absolute scumbags at TMZ. But I'm going to go with shout out to Matt Morse TV here. He breaks into some of this and finds a page where the pages, the trans pages, the radical left pages that this kid was on, explain where the etchings on his bullets came from. Because you might be wondering, one bullet said, for example, one of the shooter's bullets says, if you read this, you're gay, LMAO, laughing my ass off. So there's a trans site or an LGBTQ site that he was a part of with his trans partner that was called, if you read this, you're gay. I don't know if it had the LMAO on it, but it said, if you read this, you're gay. So he took the trans ideology pages, and he etched that onto his bullets, along with the other stuff from his trans partner. And that was the stuff you found when you got those reports about those shell casings. Let's listen to some of Matt Morse here. Shout out to his page and hear this out.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. Today it is Saturday afternoon. No, I apologize. It is Sunday afternoon. It is September 14th. Folks, we are doing yet another emergency broadcast. We are live right now on Rumble and YouTube, both platforms, Matt Morse TV. Folks, this story regarding Charlie Kirk's assassin, this young man named Tyler Robinson, just continues to get crazier and crazier. The layers of this story continue to get peeled back. You have the FBI releasing information, the Utah Police Department releasing information, and all of us online detectives piecing this stuff together. Folks, I don't even know. Listen, okay, we're going to do our best to break down everything that we have discovered over the last couple hours, but this entire dynamic, like I said, is getting off the chain. As it would seem, right now, we are worried about copycat killers. Killers potentially on the loose trying to impersonate and recreate the Charlie Kirk assassination. People are trying to buy up. Remember that iconic t-shirt the killer wore the other day with the American flag and the eagle? People are buying those shirts and dressing up, pretending to be the killer. One of them showed up to a Charlie Kirk vigil and they started desecrating the vigil. Luckily, some patriots got involved and shut that guy down. I'm going to show you what happened earlier today. Terrible. People are purchasing these t-shirts. Beyond that, as it would seem, this assassin and his gay transsexual boyfriend, furry, good Lord, it seems as if they now were a part of this larger transgender terror cell, terror network, Antifa affiliated. So, folks, we are going to break down all of this stuff. Also, it seems as if multiple individuals in this far left terror network actually knew about this assassination days, weeks, up to 1 month before the assassination took place, and that this was a highly premeditated, highly orchestrated, coordinated, multiple people involved in executing this assassination, and regrettably, they were successful. So today, folks, we are going to deep dive all of this, but first I want to show you what happened just hours ago at one of Charlie Kirk's vigils. All of them are there's tons of vigils taking place all across the country celebrating Charlie Kirk's life. Take a look at this. New higher resolution footage shows on Fox a 19-year-old individual named Ryder Corral who's been booked on multiple charges, including criminal damage and disorderly conduct, destroying a community memorial for Charlie Kirk at the TPUSA headquarters. Corral is also seen wearing the exact same clothing as 22-year-old Tyler Robinson during the tragic incident, the assassination on September 10th. Okay, take a look at this. This happened just hours ago. It's disgusting. Look. We don't have audio for this video, but you can see. Look at that. I'm going to rewind. I want to hit you with.
So this kid, to give you the context here, and Matt already told you, this kid wears the exact same shirt. He ends up buying that somewhere that the shooter was wearing at the college campus, which was like a veterans t-shirt. So it was an American flag with an eagle on it. This kid ends up buying it, goes to a Charlie Kirk vigil wearing the identical shirt, and tries to start trashing memorials at the vigil and disrupting everything that's going on there.
With the rewind here, this individual in the black shirt runs up here and is stomping on all of the, people are putting candles up here and all types of stuff to show respect for Charlie. And this person, luckily, this is an immediate F around, find out moment. This person went up here and tried to destroy the vigil. Oh, look, and the police has him over here in the back.
Kick him out,
and he thinks
arrest
it's
the
funny.
faggot.
He's got a smile on his face.
Yeah, he's a young punk kid who thinks he's having his little hero moment
like
too.
This pop up around the country. I'm going to show you another.
And he gets
case
arrested, and he's just a loser.
This is breaking information. In fact, nobody else is reporting on what I'm about to show you next. Everybody's talking about this. And as you can see, before I show you this breaking news piece,
So there's the shirt, right? There's the shooter in the bottom right-hand corner right here. That's the shirt he was wearing, American flag and an eagle, because he wanted to blend in with the crowd that was at the Charlie Kirk talk. And then this kid on the upper right-hand corner, you're seeing it at a store where you can buy that exact same shirt. Now, a whole bunch of mentally ill leftists are buying this shirt now in order to associate themselves with this tranny lover here. And this kid right here on the left being arrested, 19, maybe 20. He's wearing the exact same shirt.
Here's paused footage showing the exact type of clothing worn. This is what the shooter wore a couple days ago.
So there you go, highlighting it
here.
more.
I just lost the image. This is what the shooter wore on the day that he assassinated Charlie Kirk. This is the T-shirt in question. And this is this young man, alleged 19-year-old here, who showed up at this Charlie Kirk vigil trying to desecrate the entire deal. Disgusting. Now, this is not the only time we've seen this. For all of you that are following me, my Twitter page on Twitter, on X, Matt Morris TV, you might remember what I found. This is now 3 days ago. And by the way, I reported this to the FBI. This was a guy on Facebook. I saw this randomly on Facebook. And the reason why I reported this to the FBI 3 days ago was because this is before we had identified the killer. This is before the killer had been found. And I saw this on Facebook. This guy, his name was Zach. He said, "You're welcome," 3 days ago when the killer was still at large. And this kid, I don't know, I guess he thought it was funny to upload a picture of himself wearing this T-shirt, the T-shirt the killer was wearing. And he said, "You're welcome," presumably for assassinating Charlie Kirk. He had another photo he uploaded where he's dressing up as the assassin wearing this T-shirt. As it would turn out, this person ended up not being the assassin, presumably. We've got someone else now, Tyler Robinson. But anyway, you've got people that are, so maybe he was trolling. He thought it was funny. But now what are you seeing across the country? You're seeing these people, these far left radicals, these freaks, whatever you want to call them, that are buying this T-shirt because they think it's funny. But the problem is it's not. And they are now crashing vigils for Charlie Kirk. And so now, as far as I understand, the FBI is on high alert. I was reading a study that said anytime there's a mass shooting, anytime there's a school shooting or whatever, the FBI, they've got data on this. They've got research that says there was a 13-day window, 13 days following every mass shooting, school shooting, where they are worried for copycat killers. The rate at which copycat shooters, copycat killers pop up, super highly concentrated in a 13-day window following the initial attack. And so right now, our nation, we are 4 days out of Charlie Kirk's assassination. Our nation is on high alert for a copycat assassination, for a copycat killer. And when you've got stuff like this happening, I think we do need to be worried about that. Now, moving on, let's start talking about Tyler Robinson himself. Let's start talking.
So here we go. So first, again, where I get news stories from, I like to give credit where they're due. Shout out to Matt Morris TV for coming up with some of this information. Multiple sources at this point are finding that Tyler was dating a trans person. And he was not living at home anymore. He was living either at the dorm or within an apartment with the tranny, and was dating a dude that was pretending he was a woman. And additional radicalization was happening. I mean, you already had to have gone off the deep end if you're dating a trans person. But for anything that can happen after that dive straight down to the bottom of the abyss, he was getting further radicalized at that point. He was going onto Discord. He was going onto Reddit. Him and the trans partner both were on. Again, the Reddit and Discord posts working together, talking about all of this. My understanding at this point, and I think Matt's going to get into it a little bit. My understanding at this point is the tranny boyfriend has been brought in for questioning at this point. Is cooperating, is showing text messages on Discord and Reddit, is providing information. He's cracking like a walnut. And potentially he's going to face, and he should, in my opinion, is going to face charges as well for being a conspirator and all this. When Tyler hid the gun, when you got the update, and I did an episode on this as well. When Tyler hid the gun in the forested area in a towel, he messaged someone in order to tell them that this is where the gun is, so can you go get it and can you get rid of the evidence? It ended up being his trans boyfriend that he was writing to, in addition to anybody else that was on their sites that he was reaching out to that was supportive. So the FBI really is going to have to cast a wide net and grab all of these people. But one of the primary people was the trans boyfriend saying, this is where the gun is. It's wrapped up in a white towel. Can you come get it before authorities find it? While he was on the run. And he went to mommy and daddy's house and he was hiding there. So the trans boyfriend here, the man pretending to be a woman, is just as culpable in all of this as anyone. And I hope after the questioning is over, they are filing charges against the tranny as well. And you're going to see some of this information here. So the AF Post, Charlie Kirk assassin Tyler Robinson had a sexual fixation with furries, and his transgender boyfriend expressed support for Biden on Reddit, writing, in 2022, we are riding with Biden on this glorious subreddit while Biden was in his presidency. Here it is.
About Tyler Robinson's transsexual boyfriend. And let's start talking about this terror cell, this far-left extremist radical terror cell that it seems like they were a part of, that knew about this attack, this assassination, days, weeks, or months in advance. They were planning this together. We're trying to piece this.
And the reason he says that, and I don't have it brought up here, but there was, I don't know if I posted it on my profile. There was a couple of trans people and others that were saying, Charlie Kirk is coming to our college. Something big is going to happen. Stay tuned. This is the family, by the way. That's Tyler. That's the dad, mom, and his two brothers. This part of the family right here is all Republican and conservative. He's the freako that branched off and went hard left and went furry and went trans lover. But I thought I had posted up. We're going to get to TMZ and these scumbags at TMZ that lied about the car chase they were watching. But there was somewhere. This was the 16-year-old shooter in Colorado. He was also radicalized as well on a left-wing network. And he killed a couple of people before taking his own life. Again, Sarah Fields reporting on this. Radical left. I'm trying to warn everybody, radical left. There's a Colorado shooter right there. Radical left. They're everywhere. They're in my hometown as well. And we're dealing with that here too. When they were looking for him originally, here was him wearing the black hoodie, and he was pretending it was like you could buy it from a veteran site or something like that, people were saying. So American flag with an eagle on the front, and he was wearing it in order to blend in with the crowd so he wouldn't stand out so much. Louder with Crowder, they ended up getting whistleblowers from the ATF that were giving up information about the shooter because they were concerned it would be put under wraps or not brought out to the community correctly. Shout out to Louder with Crowder as well. I'm just trying to find anything else that I had put up, because there was a transgender who had made the claim, whether it was bravado or they knew something that the rest of us didn't. There was a tranny. It was going by the name of Omar on its account. If you've seen anything like that when you were online, and this tranny was saying big things. Charlie Kirk coming to our college. Big things are. This is one of them. Omar, posted by Libs of TikTok. Charlie Kirk is coming to my college tomorrow. I really hope someone evaporates him literally. And then Omar follows up with it with, let's just say something big will happen tomorrow. Like some of these freako weirdos had inside information about what was going on. I don't know if this particular person, Najra Galvez, has been questioned. That might have been one of the people that was released by the FBI, because the old guy that got arrested, it was odd. He was acting like he was running interference. So he got arrested. He was saying, "Oh, I have the right to remain silent," and then they were walking him away. That he was saying, "Shoot me, shoot me." It was very odd. He was a Democrat lefty loser that was protesting at the event. And it was almost like he was running interference. It could be completely a coincidence, but it looked like he was running interference. So they picked him up originally, and that's the first report that you got on when the FBI said, it might have been the first or the second, when Kash Patel came out and said, "We have a suspect in custody. Thank you for everybody that's assisted us," and yada yada. It was him who was picked up originally, or it was potentially this other tranny who was questioned about, how did you know? Because he could have just been bullshitting. He could have just been like, let's just say something big's going to happen, and him and his loser buddies were going to disrupt the event, right? But you don't know that, because his prediction ended up being true. Something big will happen tomorrow, and it did. So it's possible they picked up this tranny Omar as well. So they ended up picking up 2 people. Then they released 2 people. So until we get the details, my guess is it's one of this loser right here, and then it's this loser right here that was at the event. And they're saying, this was wrong originally. This is Luke Rudowski from wearechange.org. The suspect who shot Charlie Kirk is allegedly named Michael Mallinson, a registered Democrat in the state of Utah. That wasn't correct. At the time, I even made the mistake of saying he was the shooter, because I thought he shot from the crowd into Charlie Kirk. But I had to do another update and come back and say, I was wrong. This was not the shooter. It looks like he was a rebel rouser that was at the event and then got arrested for his trouble. So it was this loser right here. Of course, it's a Democrat. And, Michael Mallinson, registered Democrat in the state of Utah. That's the one that you see getting arrested in the video saying, I have the right to remain silent, and then he's just getting walk away. He says, shoot me, shoot me. Okay, so let's move on with what we have here.
Story together. So, folks, bear with me. Let's start unpackaging all of this. First off, the Charlie Kirk assassin Tyler Robinson had a sexual fixation with furries, and his transgender boyfriend expressed support for Joe Biden on Reddit, writing in 2022, 3 years ago, "We are riding with Biden on this glorious subreddit." So Tyler Robinson's transsexual, gay, furry boyfriend, roommate was a Biden supporter. Detectives have discovered his Reddit account. He was posting about supporting Biden 3 years ago. Okay, so this is coming out. I mean, okay, is anybody surprised? There he is. We talked a lot about this kid yesterday. Now, before we move on, I want to take a look at some super chats here. This is Jen over here on YouTube. We're live on Rumble right now, also Matt Morris TV. Jen says, "Never in my entire life have I ever seen so many angry grown men cry, and my tears won't stop. I keep thinking of Charlie's babies asking for their father and growing up without him. My heart has been absolutely breaking with you, with a lot of people. My wife and I have been talking about this. It is terrible." You're right.
To be clear, here's the trans boyfriend that's trying to go female. This is who Tyler is dating, wearing one of the kind of furry outfits or a one-piece pajama set. This is the tranny that Tyler was dating.
Kids are not going to have a father now. Little side note, folks. I did something. Today is Sunday. Today, for the first time in 20 years, I took my family to church. I have not attended a Sunday church service in 20 years. I'm 31. Since I was 11. I kid you not. I've never been to church as an adult. I loaded my kids up in the car, and I put my wife in the car. We were all happy to go, and it was a great experience. It was a great time. But maybe we can talk about that later. But thank you, Jen. I appreciate that. Another super chat here from Stefan. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, and thank you for tuning in. Thank you very much for tuning in. And also Trumpinator. He says, "Kirk loved his enemies, and look what they have done to him."
So 60167, has anybody find out about the guy who wrote the song who has now supposedly killed himself. No, I don't know anything about that. If you can offer me a little more context, I can either answer it or I can look into it because I'm not familiar about what you're talking about. I know a couple of lefties. I'm answering people on TikTok as well. I know a couple of lefties have made up some, Kill Charlie songs, or they've chosen songs that say Charlie's gone and things like that. I'm not familiar about this one. So if you can provide some extra context for that, I can either answer it or look into it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have realized that these violent far left radicals, they cannot be negotiated with, right? I think Kirk tried to have a dialogue with these people, and the dialogue, they killed him for it. Now we have a Fox News report. Take a look at this. This is breaking news. I really want you guys to pay attention and take a look at this. Right now, minute by minute, there are messages from Tyler Robinson to his gay transsexual roommate Lance Twiggs. The messages are coming to the surface. Now we know what these individuals were sending to each other. These messages were being sent back and forth between each other on an instant messaging application called Discord. We're going to take a look at this.
Partner that reportedly came forward with messages from the suspect discussing the killing, including the rifle, engraved bullets, and a change of clothes.
Retired FBI Supervisory Special Agent James Gagliano joining us now. We've had this conversation, my friend, about the nexus of information as we continue to unpack this investigation. If you wouldn't mind, is it relevant at all as a data point who this person, this shooter was involved with?
Of course.
Does that matter at all as we look at the investigation in terms of the community?
Of course.
Lawrence, and I think even Rachel mentioned earlier, Discord communities. How do you unpack that when people say, oh, it shouldn't matter?
Investigations are layered. And really, when you go to look at this now, we're seeing this new ideation, which is assassination culture.
Yeah.
What does that consist of?
Yeah.
Starts out with a grievance. These are all grievance collectors, whether it's a mass shooter, a terrorist, or a political assassin. You add into that an ideology. My ideology is superior to yours. You're an existential threat. You're going to stop the next election. You're against my family unit. And last, moral absolutism. You believe that you are superior, your thinking is superior, and I have the right to take your life because I disagree with you.
Now, folks, does that sound like what we are seeing from the left? Moral absolutism. They think they are right. They know they are right. They will not be swayed. There's no discussion to be had with these people. They've already come to their conclusion. No ifs, ands, or buts. However wrong and sick and immoral that conclusion may be. Yes. Obviously, yes. Do they perpetuate a grievance culture? Are they where they are perpetual nonstop victims at all times? Yes, we're checking all the boxes here. And are they perpetuating this culture saying that we are the enemy of them, that, hey, if Trump is in the White House, he's going to cancel democracy. He's going to shred up the Constitution. He's a fascist. He's a dictator. Everybody that voted for Donald Trump is a MAGA fascist. We're all authoritarian, whatever, right? Are they saying this as well? So, yeah, this rhetoric has created the pretense for some of these sick nut jobs on the left to start actually carrying out violence. These people are radicalized to such a degree that now they've convinced themselves, this is what's crazy, they have convinced themselves that carrying out violence is the right thing to do. I'm sure in this shooter's, Tyler Robinson, the alleged shooter here, I'm sure that in his twisted psychotic brain, I'm sure that he thought he was saving the country. I'm sure that he thought he's an American patriot because he's assassinating Charlie Kirk, the fascist. That's how twisted and psychotic these people are. And that is why the far left here with their rhetoric is so dangerous, because they are radicalizing a lot of these people, these impressionable young people, into carrying out acts of terrible, heinous violence. Okay? Now, I want to rewind to the beginning of this. Alleged Discord messages from Robinson's roommate addressed retrieving, hiding, and surveilling the location of the rifle, referenced a scope, uniqueness of the rifle, and the engraving of the bullets. We've talked about the engravings on these bullets a lot. This anti-fascist, this homosexual, transgender rhetoric, whatever, this furry stuff, whatever, and then also referenced changing outfits. So this is stuff that Tyler Robinson, the alleged shooter, is instant messaging, sending messages to his gay transsexual roommate boyfriend. And so here's the very curious thing about this, okay? Is that the day after the shooting, Discord actually came out at this. Discord is an instant messaging application, okay? A lot of people use this for totally normal, benign things, but some, of course, it's like a tool. You can use it for terrible things also. And so the shooter was messaging his boyfriend, transsexual boyfriend, and maybe more people in this terror cell. We're about to talk about this terror cell. I'm about to blow your guys' socks off today. The news I've been doing some detective work all day. I'm going to blow your mind. We have some crazy news I'm going to share with you. But anyway, they are discussing this stuff on this instant messaging app. What's weird is that Discord, this instant messaging app, the day after Charlie Kirk had been shot and assassinated, the owners, Discord officially came out and made a statement. They said they investigated, the user accounts of these individuals, and they found no wrongdoing, and they found nothing wrong with the messages. Well, it seems like they lied. That's what it seems like to me, because now we are having some stuff just start to come out, as it would seem. Now they are actually finding some weird Discord messages, these instant messages on the internet. So we're going to keep tabs on that. Now, let's talk about this transgender partner. There's a new expose that came out today I want to read with you folks. This trans partner of Charlie Kirk suspect praised Joe Biden before a conservative activist was shot. That's Charlie Kirk. As linked to his bizarre furry lifestyle is revealed. Now, I think, we have a little bit of an older audience. I think it's worth explaining I hate that I have to do this. Really, I do, but I think it's worth explaining what a furry is.
He doesn't know what a furry is.
And I apologize that I have to do this, but it is pertinent, so we're going to talk about this. Furries, this is generally a fetish that gay, terminally online, very online, internet addicted gay men have on the internet, where they dress up as furry animals and then they engage in homosexual behavior. That is generally what this is. This is a group of furries. This is what that is. I hate that I have to explain this, but that is what it is.
Oh, for sure.
So as it would
User
seem,
167.
this roommate here
Absolutely
is,
brainwashed.
where'd that image go? He's a furry. Maybe they were
See,
both
that's a
furries.
transgender boyfriend.
Let's keep on going here. So, the transgender partner of Charlie Kirk's alleged shooter shared a post online appearing to show support for President Joe Biden. Lance Twiggs, 22-year-old wannabe pro gamer, and roommate of main suspect Tyler Robinson also.
So the Lance Twiggs is the transgender boyfriend, 22-year-old wannabe pro gamer, roommate of main suspect Tyler Robinson, also 22, made the remark in a Reddit post. He's going to read all of this to you. That's here, so we'll continue.
22 years old, made the remark in a Reddit post. It has now been widely reported that Twiggs was transitioning genders. He was trying to transition species. He was trying to become some furry animal also. Allegedly. He was allegedly in a romantic relationship with Robinson. Well, now we know. This romantic relationship thing has been totally corroborated. We've had all types of people come out. I'm sure you guys have seen say, yeah, listen, you're having eyewitness testimony saying, yeah, I saw these two guys kissing and making out and holding hands and going for walks together. They were in a romantic relationship. Twiggs goes by the name Lancelot on social media accounts, including Instagram. A Steam gaming account currently called Fluxolotl. Steam, real quick, folks, it's like an online video game marketplace / social media platform where you can talk to people, you can have conversations, you can instant message people, but also you can purchase video games and play video games. So anyway, that's what Steam is. Now, Steam, this is his Steam account. It's called Lancelot. A Steam gaming account, called Fluxolotl. A Steam gaming account currently called Fluxolotl previously had the name Lancelot, as well as a variation of Lancelot, and is friends with a username Crafton247, an account that has now been linked to the shooter. So the shooter was using Steam also, this video game platform. Lancelot had their real name listed on Steam as Lance until December 11th of last year, when the gamer changed his name to Luna. So this is, I would suppose, on December 11th, 10 months ago, is when this roommate decided to gender transition, because this is when they took on a new name. He said, hey, listen, I used to be Lance. Now I am Luna, the gay furry, the gay transsexual furry. December 11th. An account on online forum Reddit with the username Lancelot also posted extensively in a group of transgender issues, and in one conversation on the site mentioned they were from Utah. So we're connecting all the dots here. A post from the same account was made to the Love for Landlords subreddit, where users share trolling posts pretending to show support for landlords. This is one of these anti-fascist or Antifa, anti-capitalist talking points. Something they hate is people that are landlords owning land. These Antifa guys, they hate landlords out of all things. Lancelot commented saying, "We are riding with Biden. We are riding with Biden" on this glorious subreddit. A post from 1 year ago by the same user also discussed medications on how to slow beard growth and get good hip growth.
And there's another one he's going to bring up where there's also conversations about how to grow your breasts out, how to grow male breasts, or to get your male breasts to come out more as opposed to being flat-chested. So my question is here to everybody. When you see this, I have a difficult time with it. So they're saying that this was a man transitioning to a woman. So if you guys can let me know in the comments what your personal opinion is, there's some very fine features on this person. That's a very fine jaw. That's not a man's jaw. It's possible this is a guy that was just a very skinny, very gangly guy. But this almost looks to me like a woman trying to be a man. So my question to all of you, and you can leave it in the comments when you're looking at this, do you believe what they're saying? This is a man who's trying to become a woman. Or is this a woman trying to become a man? Because honestly, with all this shit, it's so fucking... Some of it is so confusing. You have no idea which one's going one way or the other because some of these guys are so thin and they're so kind of effeminate that when they make... think of fucking what's his name there that did the Bud Light commercials. Dylan Mulvaney. He's such a small person, so thin and so gangly, that you could look at him in a picture and go, well, he definitely seems like a fag, right? He definitely seems like a chick. He doesn't seem like a man to me. And this, I'm having a hard time with it. Either this person has tried really hard to make themselves more feminine, but I'm not looking at that. I'm not looking at the hair. I'm not defining it by that. I'm looking by the fine bone structure and the thin cheeks and chin, which is almost feminine. So it's possible at the end of the day, this information, and does it really matter? No, it doesn't. But it's possible at the end of the day, this was a male that was transitioning to a female. But I'm seeing some feminine features in here. So, let me know what you guys think in the comments. And let me know if you think that that is a girl transitioning to a male or a male attempting to make themselves more feminine and turn into a female.
So this person on their Reddit account was posting on various transgender or transsexual subreddits trying to take medication, over-the-counter medication, to help with their gender transition, to stop beard growth. There was one post we saw the other day from the same account talking about how to grow breasts. Hey, if I take this medication, will I be able to grow breasts? We saw that.
So that makes it seem like it was a man.
We are riding with Biden.
And they were trying to...
Lancelot also told members of an ex-Christian, it's like an ex-Christian community subreddit, that he was told I was possessed by a demon and then within 30 minutes kicked out of the house because I started laughing and wouldn't go to the bishop for a...
Now, and go to the bishop for a blessing. I want to bring something up. The last trans shooter that was, the most recent one was the Catholic shooting at the Minnesota Catholic school. He also said, I'm possessed by a demon. Now, you can pick, I'm not overly Christian. I don't go to church anymore or subscribe to any of that. But I do find the stories and the history behind everything very interesting. So again, I'll ask what some of your thoughts are on this, which is, do you think that these people genuinely think they're possessed by a demon? This is why they're acting out? Or do they say that for theater, for bravado, right? Because if you're someone who's actually possessed by a demon, in my opinion, I don't think you'll go around and go, I'm possessed by the demon, and this is why I'm doing it, right? It feels like you're offering extra information to all of the community that isn't, it's like blatantly obvious to them, right? It's like if I have a gun and I go to everybody, I'm crazy and I have a gun. And then they go, yeah, we put those two together. We didn't need that statement from you. So I feel like the people who go out and say, I'm possessed by a demon, I feel like the demon wouldn't say that. Right? If I'm a demon inside of a human, I'm not going to go around announcing my presence to everyone. I'm just going to do demon-like things. And then you can either put the puzzle together or you can't. Yes, they're doing it for attention. That is exactly what I think. Because again, if I'm a demon inside of a human, I'm not going to remember Marvel's Avengers: Age of Ultron, right? Ultron says, "Yes, I'd like to take this opportunity to tell all of you about my evil plan," and then he shoots at him, right? Because why? If this is something legitimate going on, and I'm this or I'm that, or I have a demon inside of me, or whatever it is, why would I stop to inform all of you all in detail about what's going on? Right? If I've got a demon inside of me, I don't need to have a conversation with all of you. I don't need to put a plan out. I'm not a Bond villain. They're not a Bond villain. You don't need to take 10 minutes to tell them about your evil plan while Bond finds out a way to get out of the Shark Tank and save everybody, right? So it's these ones that say, I feel like I have a demon inside of me. Yes, user 167, you're right. It's for attention, and it's something of a cry for help, is what it is, or a cry for attention. Like, we haven't noticed you already anyway. You're a fucking guy in a dress and pigtails. Believe me, we fucking noticed you. But they whatever it is they know what they've done is wrong. This is the point. When they're trans, when they've gone this horrible route, they know what they're doing is wrong. They know what they're doing is twisted, and that they're not really human anymore. They've become something else. I've thought about something for a while now, and I never brought it up in the show before, but it's relevant. Anyone that's a science fiction fan and has read Warhammer, the Warhammer series, the books and the games, whatever it is you've done, the forces of chaos end up coming into the human realm. And then various warriors, like I love reading the stories of Gotrek Gurnisson, the Troll Slayer, and his partner, the swordsman. Why can't I remember his name now? I'm drawing a blank. But anyone can help me out. And they're fighting against the forces of chaos. One of the forces of chaos are the followers of Cheech, which is Tzeenth. And that's how they pronounce it in the book. Don't argue with me, argue with the author. In the book, they describe the followers of Cheech as like twisted sexual abominations. They have given in to and been twisted and conformed by every sexual want in personal feeling and feelings that of selfishness that they've ever had. So they describe some of the followers as having 2 arms or 3 breasts or dripping saliva from a very long, like snake's tongue in all of this. And when they're attacking people, they will grind on them and moan and go into depraved sexual acts. That's the followers of Cheech. And when I look at the trans community and I look at these leftists that go way overboard with the LGBTQ plus minus divided by sign, I think of the followers of Cheech from Warhammer. And I think how they've been twisted by a dark god to give in to every sexual fantasy, deviance, torture, SMN or whatever the fuck it is, where they put ball gags in their mouth and fucking beat each other with whips, right? And all of that, and they become twisted visages of whatever they were as a human being. And that's what the heroes end up fighting when they run into them in the woods or the sacrificial altar or whatever it is. And I see these people, and it seems like they what they've become. Twisted members, twisted members of the dark gods. And it's almost like when you take, and anyone that has read any of the series or would like to learn more, please just go online and Google it so you have a little more context than what I'm giving you, because I haven't read the books in a while. Warhammer, the old Warhammer, not 40K. 40K is in the future, which, by the way, the Forces of Chaos are still there too. But going back to the old ones and what the followers of Cheech are, read about them and when they run into them, what they're like. Yeah, it really does, doesn't it? It sounds just about right. And they're twisted, over-sexualized visages of whatever they would have been as a human being. Their teeth are sharpened into daggers. They've got parts where they're not supposed to be. And they're participating around the altar in both overly sexual incantations and then also just regular chaotic rituals. And then you look at, I don't know if the author meant that to be that way. I'm willing to guess not. He was just coming up with interesting things for his books, right? For bringing up the Warhammer universe. But he talks about it and then you think about what we have right now. What are transgender people? They're over-sexualized, distorted versions of what a human used to be. They're putting up makeup and wearing dresses. They're cutting off body parts and replacing them with others. They're becoming over-sexualized, but in a realm that you and I would not be a part of, or any normal human being wouldn't be a part of. But it's all in the favor of the chaos gods. And I wanted to add that in is because I've never talked about it on a show. I wanted to add that in right now as when I see transgenders and I see this part of the community that is so radically left and what they all are, I think of the followers of Cheech and following that Lord of Chaos, the Cheech, the God of Chaos. All right, let's continue.
A blessing. So this transsexual roommate was also seemingly from a Christian family, is an ex-Christian, and told his parents.
Yeah, because I went on a little bit of a rant, and I apologize. So the transgender boyfriend also told a story, who called himself Lancelot 3 online, told members of his ex-Christian subreddit that he was told I was possessed by a demon, and then within 30 minutes kicked out of the house because I started laughing and I wouldn't go to the bishop for a blessing. Now, if it were me personally in my house, I would have beat his ass until he started. I said, I'll give you something to laugh about, and then I would have beat his ass. This family seems like it was very religious, so they got concerned that he was possessed by the demon, the devil or a demon, and they want him to go to church to be blessed. I don't want to shit on anybody's religion. I just think that process, in my personal opinion, is ridiculous. You can't send anybody to another human being and have them solve your problems for you. I know priests and the Pope are supposed to be above all of us and better than all of us, and they're supposed to solve, they're supposed to be able to absolve all you and run the whole show. I have unfortunate news for anyone that doesn't follow any of that. They're all either shitbags or pedophiles, and a corrupt, disgusting human being cannot absolve you of your own particular issues. That may offend some people, and I apologize. I'm coming from that as my personal opinion and how I've seen things through life. I'm agnostic. I believe there could be a creator and a God, if you will, but I don't believe it's the stories and what has been directly laid out for us. So I'm sure this family had the best of intentions, but they freaked out. He was laughing for attention and wouldn't stop laughing, so they thought he was possessed by a demon, and they attempted to send him for the bishop for a blessing. The blessing I would give him would be an ass beating until he woke up and realized what reality is. That's what I do in my personal opinion.
Possessed by a demon, and then his parents kicked him out of the house after he refused to go get a blessing from their local bishop. Okay. Is any of this really surprising? Yeah, I guess not. Twig's family appeared to be conservative Christians, yeah, based on their social media profiles.
Yeah, the transgender boyfriend.
His sister follows Kirk's widow, Erica, on Instagram. So his sister is a conservative woman. She's a fan of the Kirks. The Daily Mail also revealed that Robinson has been linked to a furry fetish website, a furry website. Oh my God. A username associated with the alleged assassin has an account on furaffinity.net, a site catering to people with a proclivity for humanoid animal illustrations and dressing up in fursuits. So I don't have the courage to go to that website. I'm not going to that website. But if you want to look, this is probably what.
Here's the furry nut jobs. Can I add something right here real quick? Some people may disagree with me about this, and feel free to comment on it in the comment section. There has been something, in my opinion, as we have gone on as a society, where not being able to beat your kid's ass for being a moron is a lost art that I feel like we as society are suffering from. Go back to your parents, and maybe you're not fans. I don't know. Go back to your parents, or go back to you raising kids right now. Mine are teenagers right now. And think back to previously when they did something stupid, really stupid. Or think about somebody that told a story about how their dad beat their ass when they went out drinking with the boys and trashed the family car, or they drank with their friends and trashed the downstairs finished basement or whatever, right? Dad found out, and they got, like, as they would describe, the beating of their life, right? And families that you talk to now don't do that. These new generation families, they don't do it. And just in case you're unsure, yes, 167. Just in case you're unsure, some of them have posted videos on TikTok to say, here's my kid, and what do you think I should do about this situation, right? So I can't remember who it is, so I'm paraphrasing here from one account that I saw. One parent will show the daughter, the son, whatever it is, and they say, no, I'm not going to buy you that toy today, or no, I'm not going to buy you the Xbox card so you can buy a pack or whatever you want online. And they flip out, throw things around the house, call the mom or the dad a cunt, bitch, piece of shit, losers, all of these names that they possibly could. And then the mom or the dad is filming this on TikTok, okay? On YouTube, wherever it is. And they're going, look at it, y'all. This is what I have to deal with. What do you think I should do? And I'm like, you should beat him into fucking oblivion. What are you doing? Why are you allowing this child to run your house? I remember one, and it's possible that many of you have seen it. It's this kid. He's living with his father, and he has a whole bunch of Xbox games. He's got an Xbox and a whole bunch of Xbox games. And the father comes in and he says, I asked you to do these chores and those chores, and you didn't do them. And the kid flips out, the teenager flips out, whatever it is, and says, oh, fuck you, whatever. You can't tell me what to do. I want to do my own thing. So the dad says, okay. So he takes all the teenager's video games and he puts them out on the lawn. If anybody remembers this. Then he fires up his lawnmower and he drives over all the games, cases and all, runs them all over, chops them up into oblivion. The kid or whoever is videotaping this, yes, well, 167, I don't know if you saw this, chops him up into oblivion. The kid is losing his mind in the house. He's watching from like the upstairs living room and then eventually go downstairs screaming at the dad, don't do that, don't chop up my games. And the dad runs them all over with the ride-on lawnmower, takes them all out. And he goes, that's what you get. I told you to take care of your chores, take care of your responsibility. You're living in my house as like a 17 to 20-year-old. You're acting like a baby and you want to play your video games. And you're giving me an attitude and screaming at me, thinking that you're in charge and you run this show. And he runs over everything and he destroys it all. I don't know what happened after that. But I just saw the video on TikTok or whatever it was years ago. And my point is, this is how you get these furries. This is how you get these trans dudes going out there where he sits at the table and laughs hysterically, pretending he's got a demon inside of him. And the family goes, oh my good gracious, you have to go see the bishop immediately. I'd be like, no, my steel-toed boot from work is named Bishop, and I'm going to put it up your fucking ass. Shut the fuck up. Stop laughing. Act like a normal human being, or I'm going to give you a reason to laugh hysterically. And this is not happening with these families, and this is why you're ending up with these people. This is I guarantee it is one of the primary reasons. They're letting it go. I do not tolerate this in my house. I'm fair. I do not ask my kids to do anything that I wouldn't be willing to do myself. I do not ask them to do anything unsafe, and I do not ask them to do anything improper. But I do ask them to take care of your chores, take care of your responsibilities. There will be consequences if you don't. And this is a life lesson. Because when you're living on your own in your own apartment, daddy is not going to be there to keep grabbing your arm and telling you the things that you should be doing. You should be washing your dishes. You should be cleaning your house. You should keep up with your bills. And you should present yourself as a normal human being. I'm just giving you the bottom line grassroots thing that you should already be doing. This is very simple. This is what I do for my kids. I have a family member who is a left-wing nutty, who has let her kids do whatever they want and then affirm them when they're doing whatever they want. And it goes without saying, they're a mess. One is gay, dating a trans person. The other one is a pothead who can't hold a job. So the point is how you raise people call this, it's child abuse. First of all, when you affirm your children and let them become trans, that's child abuse as far as I'm concerned. DCF won't come to your door if you trans your kid, buy him a tuck bathing suit, which Target did this. For all of you that may remember, Target got into a lot of trouble for this for Pride Month. They sold penis tuck bathing suits for young boys, so you could take your young boy to the beach. They could tuck their penis and hide it in the bottoms, so it made them look like they could be a girl because you couldn't see any type of bulge. And then they could wear a top that would be flattening because they didn't have any defining features one way or the other, whether it was a boy or a girl. Target would sell these, and there were people buying them. Yeah. And they ended up getting under a lot of scrutiny. That's the reason Target got hit hard. And that's why they don't even have a Pride section anymore. They got rid of it because of what they went through and the Pride section they have and the garbage they had. This was families trying to make their little boy or little girl. Disgusting acts. And as a child, how do you defend yourself from the parent that runs your home? How do you say, no, I think this is ridiculous? You don't. So you just go, I'll wear the tucked bathing suit even though I feel weird. And these poor kids get pushed into this ideology. That's why I've said there you have these trans kids and these trans teenagers and older people, sure, as you're seeing right here with the furries, right? But you have the parents who are mentally and physically abusing their children. That I absolutely believe that is happening because those kids are relying on you. They're looking to you for guidance and for a focal point. And you are telling them you can be whatever it is that you want to be. And it's disgusting stuff. All right. Sideways rant over. We'll continue.
They're dressing up as these furry. This is generally speaking a gay fetish. And they're dressing up as anthropomorphic furry animals. Okay. Many of the cartoon animal characters... God. Many of the cartoon animal characters pictured on the site are in sexualized poses. Robinson used the account name Crafton247 on various video gaming and online accounts, his friends told the Daily Mail. There is an account by that name on Fur Affinity registered on July 22nd, 2025, 2 months before Kirk's fatal shooting on Wednesday at Utah Valley University. So, folks, I have to say, reminder, remember 2 days ago when the talking point on the progressive left was that this shooter, Tyler Robinson, assassinated Charlie Kirk because Charlie Kirk was not far enough to the right? That Tyler Robinson, the assassin, was a far-right extremist, and that he was mad at Charlie Kirk for not being, far enough to the right, and that's why he killed Charlie Kirk? Well. Let's keep on.
And this is an important point because I've been arguing with people in my local community because we've got a nut job that's painting his house with left-wing propaganda. He's graffitiing his house, and he even has a sign in front of it. And then he walks around with a rifle slung over his shoulder, and he's right down the road from the elementary school. So there's been a big fight in my local area about a left-wing nut job here who promotes this type of thought process. And one of the arguments from the left right now, as they are attempting to twist the narrative, is that this kid was in fact not a leftist. He not had gone wildly left. He was not a furry. He was not with a transgender person. He was actually a very angry, pro-conservative person who assassinated Charlie Kirk because Charlie Kirk wasn't quite right enough. Charlie Kirk wasn't going far enough. They've even been showing photoshopped photos. And he said this earlier in the video. If you guys, everyone that's joining us on Rumble as well and on YouTube, if you go back previously in my video, they show a comparison where he's standing in his room at his parents' house, and he's wearing a plain, like, gray or blue shirt and jeans. The left is photoshopping that so that you see him in a MAGA red shirt that says, like, Trump, make America great again. And they're trying to say, see, he was a MAGA guy. And this is conservatives killing conservatives. This has all been photoshopped by the left. It's not real. And this guy, Matt Morse right here, is telling you the actual reality of what this kid is. There's my mom used to always say something, and she said there's a little bit of truth in every lie. And I never forgot it my whole life. The truth portion of this is, his family was very Republican and conservative. That is the actual truthful part of the argument that you're hearing online. The other truthful part is He branched off from the family, became radicalized, and went wildly left. That's where there's a little bit of truth in every lie. The left is putting the two parts of those together that don't fit. It's like the circle going into the square hole. The left is putting that together and going, it was a Republican conservative family, and it was a conservative son who killed Charlie Kirk. And nothing can be farther than the truth, from the truth. This is what he's saying right now. He went wildly left. He went furry. He dated a transgender. He was talking to a wild Antifa. In fact, the FBI is going after the Antifa groups that are part of the groups that he was talking to online on Discord and on Reddit right now. And there's some cells of them because they operate in cells. They don't operate as one large kind of political group. They operate as cells, like a terrorist network. As a matter of fact, they even have a book that they go by, and of course a name. I think it's the Anarchist Guide to... It's the Anarchist Guide to something. And many of them read it. And the book is a guide on essentially being a domestic terrorist, on how to do it successfully within the area where you live. Antifa goes by this. So they work in cells. One group will not know about the other group, but they will crowdsource and work together when the situation calls for it. Apparently, he has been online talking to one of these groups, in addition to his trans boyfriend, who was also part of this and radicalizing with him. So the narrative that you're getting online, that he was actually an ultra-conservative that was upset with Charlie Kirk, is a lie.
On reading. The revelation comes after law enforcement found bullets inscribed with messages including, "Notices bulge? Oh, whoa, what's this?" A phrase associated with an internet meme often used by furries. Now, somebody, I need to look this up live on today's broadcast.
Gay people in furry costumes.
Somebody drew a crazy connection here with this meme. It's like a gay furry meme specifically. I'm going to pull this up because it's actually much longer. And I'm not going to read the entire thing because it is disgusting. But literally the next sentence in this meme, in this joke, is a reference to, like, it says nuzzling somebody's neck, nuzzle's neck. Nuzzling your neck, like he's rubbing up on your neck. And so somebody pointed out, I saw the very next phrase in this meme, this gay furry meme, that the shooter etched on his shell casings directly references touching somebody's neck, which is the exact point that Charlie Kirk was shot at. Little bit weird. Okay, let's keep on reading. Other online accounts viewed by the Daily Mail explicitly link a person called Tyler Robinson to the username Crafton247. So this is his user account on Steam, and he's playing all. Oh no, this is on.
So to be clear, Crafton is Tyler, and the other one that was Sir Lancelot, or previously Sir Lancelot, was the trans boyfriend. And this is the furry website, as you're seeing here. Humans that have become or dressed as animals, they are interacting on this site together as furries.
For Affinity, this furry fetish website. Oh, Lord. Yeah. Tyler Robinson had the username Crafton45 on the payments app Venmo, and was friends on the app with people the Daily Mail confirmed to be Robinson's friends. Now, folks, I have to say something. You guys need to stick around for today's entire broadcast, because in the next couple minutes, we are going to really start deep diving and breaking down this entire far left terror network as it seems to be. It seems as if this gay transsexual roommate and Tyler Robinson himself, not only were they both gay homosexual furries, engaged in this homosexual furry website, this disgusting stuff, but also it's as it would seem to me, we're still unpackaging this, they were part of a far left terror network as well. And we're going to talk about that here in a minute. But I want to get through this article with you folks. The gamer also used the name Donald Trump as a previous username. He actually took on the name Donald Trump at one point. So if people that have dug through this individual's video game Steam account, they have found that he is playing all types of furry sex simulator video games. This guy was a sex freak, a sexual degenerate. We're going to keep reading here. This is breaking news coming out of the FBI. Let's talk about this now, folks. This is where today's broadcast gets absolutely insane. Pay attention. The FBI has now reportedly opened investigations into multiple organizations over possible prior knowledge of the Charlie Kirk assassination. As it would seem, there are other people and other organizations in Utah that knew this attack was coming, that knew that was imminent, and maybe even helped plan it. They had the information. I want to make sure I'm not missing any.
So remember the other trans person that I brought up earlier in the show that they called themselves Omar, and he takes a picture of himself. I'm not sure if it was in the article that I showed you, but he's wearing a half shirt. Is a dude with long hair. He's pretending he's a guy that's a woman, and he says, Charlie Kirk's coming to my college. Big things are going to be happening tomorrow, meaning the day that Charlie was shot. This is some of what he is alleging to hear when he's reading the information that said other groups may have knowledge of this action. So one of the things to talk about here is Tyler, the one that took the shot, was not a college student at that college. So how did he end up getting access to the roof to make the shot at Charlie Kirk? You know, when I was talking to my girlfriend, she said, normally these areas are locked off by, you know, the maintenance crew, and they're the only ones that have keys. You can't just walk up there to hang out and have a powwow. They're restricted areas. How did this shooter get onto the roof, find his position from 200 yards away with a rifle with a scope? And Tyler's father is a 20. They're debunking this a little bit, but he was Tyler's father, because original information was Tyler's father was a 27-year veteran with the local police department. Now there's more information coming out saying that wasn't accurate. But the information that is clear is Tyler's father was a police officer, is currently or is retired. And, Tyler used to go on regular hunting trips with his father. So Tyler is proficient with a rifle. Tyler is proficient with a scope and hitting a target from long range. There's been a lot of conspiracy theories about, this was a professional hit job. And it was a professional assassin that took out Charlie Kirk. First, I did an update on this as well. Somebody that was close to Charlie Kirk, and Tim Pool has said this as well, that Charlie Kirk, he wasn't wearing body armor, but he was wearing something like chainmail. Tim Pool explained it better, because there's something specific that they wear underneath their T-shirts and their clothing. And I can't remember what he said. But it's rather than being a bullet-absorbing armor, like plate mail would be, they wear reflective armor, refracting armor, underneath their T-shirts, because they're always targets. They know that they're targets. That's why he had the security with him. They're always targets. Now, this person that was close to Charlie Kirk said that the shot that was taken at him was not actually a neck shot. This is what I put up online and what I did in a previous post. That the shot was a chest shot. It refracted off of the chainmail or the improvised body armor that he was wearing and went up into his throat. This is something that not a lot of people are talking about right now. Anyone that I've listened to, Tim Pool or Ben Shapiro, anyone else, they're saying that the assassin got him in a neck shot. I don't believe that this is correct. I've already put up a post that said it refracted off of his body protection. and went up into his throat. The original was a chest shot. So this person, when they talk about professional assassin that came from Israel, right? We're getting all that fucking bullshit now. Israel has done absolutely everything. And by the way, I'm not an Israel apologist. I'm just a realist. You know, I follow Candace Owens. I like her. But I feel like she goes too much down the Israel rabbit hole. Ian Carroll does the exact same thing. Too much down the Israel rabbit hole, right? It's like you lose your socks. You can only find that one sock and you're missing the other one. That's because of Israel. If you couldn't find your car keys in the morning when you were getting ready for work, that's because of Israel. Some of it, you know, there's somewhere Israel is taking advantage politically of our government and their AIPAC and whatever, and there's other things that are just absolutely fucking ridiculous. And in my opinion, that's if you think a 30-06 ricocheted off that, you're delusional. It would have torn right into it. I have somebody close, Diesel Dog. I have somebody close that is close to the Charlie Kirk that was there at the event. He said he was wearing something that had the bullet ricochet off into his neck, not penetrate. I'm telling you. This guy did not pull off a perfect neck shot. He wasn't. And by the way, Charlie was moving around, right? He would lean forward, pick up the microphone, and he would say something to the crowd, or he would answer a question. Then he would lean forward and put the microphone down, and then he would sit back and he would wait for the person to answer the question or respond to his statement. Then he would lean forward again and he'd grab the microphone again in order to respond to a lot of the crowd. So there's a lot of front and back moving motion going with Charlie. If you notice, it ricocheted. It didn't absorb. He wasn't wearing Kevlar. Tim Pool talks about this, and I can't remember what he said. I'm going to try and... You know what? I'll try and even look it up. Tim Pool was talking about what some of the conservative talkers wear when they go to events, and it is not Kevlar. It is not hard shell body armor that would avoid the shot or body armor like the cops wear. It's something else. And again, I'm equating it to like chainmail if you were reading a fantasy book. So it's meant to deflect or attempt to the best of its ability not to absorb. I don't even know if this is going to work. I was watching one of his shows, and he was talking about what they commonly wear when they go into public and they talk to people. And if you're wearing a T-shirt, the body armor is too bulky. So they wear something else underneath the T-shirt that it doesn't show so much. So again, a little bit like a chainmail, not a full Kevlar or body armor meant for or rated for certain shells. I'm going to have to go to maybe his first show when he was talking about it. It was trans leftist, suspect in custody, radical leftist. I don't know that this is...
Charlie Kirk has been assassinated. For those that are just hearing this right now, for it, the calling out of demons every day when you are in a war. Let's use his personal studio. When we had Kyle Rittenhouse on, they built us a temporary studio. They gave us a half-moon table with big screens behind us. What will the right say? Everything is highest possible alert. And it's kind of crazy. We had Wade Miller on, and he's a vet. He did combat, and he said, you know, when you're out there in Iraq, you get complacent after a couple weeks, right? You're standing around doing nothing for so long.
I'm going to have to check my X account because I'm pretty sure I reposted the guy. Bear with me 1 minute.
Expect it. And this is kind of how we operate. I mean, I was just saying the other day, like, man, it's so chill. Did we win? I should have listened to my own advice. The left won't just accept that we are winning politically. Charlie was the king of the debate. He won every time. He won so much, thousands would crowd around to hear him. He was quick-witted, he was smart, he was right. They couldn't tolerate it.
So,
and I feel stupid for thinking.
We're going to branch off to a couple of things here. This was video of showing the shooter running on the roof that people at the event were grabbing. I'm going to get back on to the person who made the comment about the reflection of the bullet into his neck. But there's the shooter right there on the roof, laying on his stomach, taking a shot with the rifle, 30-06 with a scope. He's right there. People are recording it. Okay, now I'm going to keep going because I want to find the guy that was close to Charlie Kirk who said what I'm referencing to you. I thought I had reposted it. Maybe I liked it and I didn't repost it. Yeah, this is going too far back. It's talking about the troops in D.C. and Sidney Sweeney potentially taking over for Bud Light, and then all the trans shooters we've had up to this point. So that's 5. And then the Christian shooter in Minnesota and another one, I think that makes 7. And then this one with his boyfriend is at least kind of a catch-22 that makes 8. I could have sworn that I reposted him unless it got deleted. But I referenced it in the show. He said he was wearing something, it ricocheted off of that, and it went into his neck. Bear with me 1 second, everyone. This was the shooter in Colorado, radicalized by the left as well. That happened right either before or after Charlie Kirk. That was another school shooting as well in Colorado. Okay, here it is. Tony Saruga, for the hundreds of you messaging and texting me, yes, Charlie Kirk was wearing his bulletproof vest under his white T-shirt. The weapon was recovered in a wooded area where the shooter retreated to. It is being analyzed by the FBI. Multiple eyewitness accounts, slow-motion videos, and initial forensic analysis indicates the single bullet struck the vest first, ricocheted upward, and entered his neck. Tony Saruga, anyone who wants to check that out for your own. Supposedly a close personal friend of Charlie Kirk who was potentially at the event. He states, the hundreds of you messaging me and texting me, yes, Charlie Kirk was wearing his bulletproof vest under his white T-shirt. Bullet ricocheted and went into his neck. This is what I reposted and did an update on. So it wasn't Kevlar. Tim Pool talks about it, and I can't find it. I apologize. It wasn't Kevlar. It wasn't straight up body armor that you and I would get that is rated for certain weapons fire that will absorb it. It was like a reflective armor, almost reminiscent of a chainmail. It is meant to deflect shots, not be hardcore. Because keep in mind, when you saw him at that event, he was only wearing a T-shirt. That was it. If he was wearing full body armor, you would have very clearly saw it. He wasn't. He had something reminiscent of chainmail. I know that's fantasy, but he was wearing something reminiscent of that when he was at the event. So that this wasn't actually a neck shot. It was a chest shot that ricocheted into his neck. And here's Tony Saruga. If any of you would like to go look him up online, Tony, Serugea, at Tony Saruga. You can look him up on X, and you can see his post and speak with him personally. 270,000 followers, investor, board member, big data pioneer, Intel ops, CIA, NSA, contractor, whistleblower, AI implementer, AI M&A, healthcare M&A, space warfare, tech, and M&A. So a whistleblower and a fan and ally of Charlie Kirk. That's what I did the show on. They're saying the bullet ricochet. He is saying. Nobody else is saying this right now, by the way. Every other source is calling it a neck shot. I don't believe it is. I believe it ricocheted off his chest into his neck. And that is what Tony Saruga is saying. Just to be clear. If you'd like to look into that, please do so.
Super chats. I really want to make sure, so hold up. We're going to pause, and I want to cover all of these. This is from One Hairy Guy. He says, Charlie would want us to continue to be a rational, peaceful discussion to try to find common ground that we can agree on, but how is that going to work dealing with irrational, violent extremists? I am not going to unify or seek unity with people that very clearly want me dead. That's my personal opinion. That is what got Charlie Kirk killed. These people decided that they do not want to have a dialogue. So I don't know. I don't have an answer for your question, but all I can do is say, listen, stay safe. This is from
that's
Zero.
What I said earlier
PSA,
in the show.
Do not let your kids on the internet without supervision. Very good point. True. You don't want your kids to end up like this degenerate too many toddlers with iPads these days. True. Thank you. Thank you very much. This is from Braun Perlman. What a timeline. A week from now, a handful of furries will be doing interviews on MSNBC denouncing Tyler. I'll tell you what, I have yet to see a single transgender person or furry denounce Charlie Kirk's assassination. I haven't seen it. Maybe some have. I've been on the internet. Internet 18
I'll
hours
clarify with this. It's bizarre. There's one tranny on TikTok, at least TikTok, who claims he is a Republican and is denouncing it. And now for the life of me, I can't remember his name. I don't know if I liked his account or I liked the thing just out of the pure craziness of the entire thing.
Okay, guys, breaking news.
The ridiculousness of it, by the way. Yeah, I'm waiting for my account to be taken down. That's why I have a hard time getting on here. Let's go on TikTok, see if I can get on here. I mean, I'm still on live, so I imagine I still have an account, at least for now. But it is not working. Whoa! We had it for 1 second. Nope. Yay! Okay, hold on. I don't know if I ended up liking this account. I don't think so, because it was a trans person. But they claim, not favorites, they claim they're a trans conservative. Crazy stuff going on in England, by the way. Marches against illegal immigrants. So that's crazy. Nepal is another one I haven't been able to get to. Yeah, I understand Kevlar would have absorbed it, dog, but again, he wasn't wearing Kevlar. If I could find the statement from Tim Pool about what the conservative podcasters wear when they go to these events, because he explains it a little more clearly. He was not wearing Kevlar. He was wearing some sort of reflecting vesting that they wear, and Tim Pool explains it. I encourage you to go look for it. I can't find it right now, unfortunately. But it's not Kevlar and it's not body armor. It's a light version variant of that they can wear under a t-shirt that doesn't show off so much. I don't know. I don't think I liked the trans person that was doing it. There was one trans person who claimed they were conservative and they were doing videos. Yeah, it doesn't appear to be here. All right. So we're just going to move on. But aside from that, obviously the trans community.
I haven't seen a single one of them denounce this violence. So maybe I'm wrong.
There's some Democrats that are saying, I'm done. I'm done with being supporters.
Sophia's Choice says,
and it's crazy to support
okay, I'm not sure what
killing
that means
someone
exactly,
and they're
but we're going
leaving.
to keep
So
on
there is
moving on.
that.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the super chats, folks. The FBI is now investigating potential involvement or support by leftist groups in Utah in the assassination of Charlie Kirk. The investigation is ongoing. In fact, they're ramping up the scope. Federal and state law enforcement officials also are examining leftist groups in Utah to see whether they had knowledge of the alleged shooter's plans beforehand or if they lent any material support to him afterwards. One of those groups has now eliminated all of its social media profiles after the shooting. And I think I can show you that here. I think I've got this. I'm trying to find exactly where that was. We're skipping ahead with my show here today. Well, we'll get to that. But anyway, like I said, one of these Utah far-left groups has actually purged their entire online social media presence. Presumably, they're getting nervous. They're trying to hide something here. Okay. Federal and state agencies are probing leftist groups in Utah. Investigators are also looking into whether or not these groups provided material support. At least one organization quickly deactivated its social media pages in the aftermath. As it would seem, this shooter, Tyler Robinson, was associated with various online transgender communities and also allegedly the Democratic Socialists of America organization. We're going to keep on reading here. This is where today's broadcast gets crazy. Pay attention. This is where I'm going to blow your socks off. Multiple Democrat militant trans men in the area around the shooting.
So real quick here, this guy is saying, what really happened, part 2? No body armor? Question mark. Physics is broken. No exit wound. Shirt moving straight up. He shows red arrow here, shirt moving up, as if something hits here and then goes up that way. His shirt would not move if he got shot directly through the neck with a shot. He's showing shirt shifts, this shifts, body shifts here, goes up to neck here. This guy is doing this example. Okay, I'm trying to look up more information on what Tim Pool was talking about in regards to this, and I don't think this is where
I think the answer is yes. I think they should be allowed to have guns. I don't think the Second Amendment says that you have the right to keep and bear arms unless you're found deficient by the state. But do you think...
Okay, Gregory Baker, a bulletproof vest that is basically unnoticeable under a t-shirt is going to deflect a round from a high-powered rifle, question mark. Body armor is made to absorb, slow down, and displace the energy of a projectile, not deflect it. So he's asking, what's going on here? So people are saying you need an education lesson. He said, okay, I'm listening. Look at YouTube videos of the hard body armor casting sprawl into chicken meat. Sprawl is actually quite devastating. Many standard hard plate body armor need a separate sheath to present this. Just watch him bend over and pick up and put down the microphone. No way he's wearing hard body armor, right? So this is what I'm saying. He's not wearing hard body armor. He's wearing something lighter, like, again, that chainmail. Deflection and sprawl are real things, Internet Warrior, says another. That would defeat the purpose of the vest. What if you get shot and the bullet ricochets and strikes your balls? Right, another good point there, too. 5 inches of Kevlar going to stop a .308 round. Bunch of cope from people who don't understand the power of even small rounds. So, another person. Not if it had a plate. Also, it was fragmented. If you understand ballistics, you know the phrase bullets follow walls, which means they deflect somewhat parallel to a hard object. The underside of Kirk's neck is parallel to the vest. So people here are having the discussion that it hit whatever body armor he was potentially wearing, broke and refracted, and shrapnel went into his neck. This is the point they're making here. Let's try and find something else. He did not have hard rifle rated plates on you. Cannot wear that. It shows through a t-shirt. No matter what, trust me. And that's not how body armor works. It's ceramic and silicone carbide. It doesn't ricochet like that. It fractures even on edge hits. So there's not a comment about what Tim Pool was talking about. Again, I'd love to find it and tell you guys. He explains what some of them wear when they go to shows. It seems like they're not wearing anything. They are. It's something thin. It's something small that it is underneath your t-shirt, and it doesn't show up as bulky as hard Kevlar armor or body armor that you and I would purchase from somewhere that is meant to exactly absorb hard rounds. I'm going to continue here.
Posted on September 9th that, quote, something big will happen. Something big will be happening to Charlie Kirk tomorrow. It was a planned hit with full support from several left-wing militant groups. Okay, I have been looking into this all day. I want to show you folks what I have found. I have been able to find.
So here's Omar. I showed you him earlier on the show on my X account. He says, this is a trans guy. Charlie Kirk is coming to my college tomorrow. I really hope something evaporates him literally. Then he continues on to say, let's just say something big will happen tomorrow, meaning the day of the shooting. This is a trans guy at the college that posted this.
Different individuals on the internet that were talking about this attack on Charlie Kirk before the attack took place. This one I'm sure you have seen. This person, Omar, user Najra Galves, said one day before the attack, Charlie Kirk is coming to my college tomorrow. I really hope someone evaporates him literally. Then went on to say, let's just say something big will be happening tomorrow. This was posted one day before Charlie Kirk was assassinated. This is we know a transsexual individual, this person, Omar. So this is person number one. Person number two, take a look at this. September 10th will be a very interesting day. September 10th, of course, is the day that Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Now, here's the crazy thing. This post was made on August 6th, over 1 month before Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Closer to 5 weeks. How long was this assassination being planned? How long was this assassination of Charlie Kirk being prepared? How long were they planning this? This is person number two. It gets even crazier, folks. This is a person named Osamu bin Tezuka. Ujo Shinsel is their username. This person, five days before Charlie Kirk was assassinated, said, you guys, I have something big coming soon. Just be sure to check the news. You'll know it when you see it. And then the day that Charlie Kirk was assassinated, take a look at this. They said, well, that's that. Well, that's that. In the responses, he said, another chud bites the dust. Chud is a pejorative for right-wing people. This is something on the left. They call us chuds. This person would call me a chud. They would call you a chud. If you voted for Trump, you are a chud. So this person says, another chud bites the dust. There's 3 of these people now. All talk. They knew something was going to happen in advance. Very strange. 3 people. Let's make it 4. Let's talk about the SoundCloud song that was uploaded on SoundCloud, which is this music sharing website.
Somebody on my page was talking about this. I don't know if it was user 0167. This is some of the songs that were updated onto SoundCloud. Charlie Kirk dead at 31. And the account location is in Utah. I don't know if this is what you were referencing, but he's going to get to it here.
Which was uploaded by another transgender person. We know that to be a fact, the person that uploaded this. And the name of the song is called Charlie Kirk Dead at 31. Well, when Charlie Kirk was assassinated 4 days ago, he was 31 years old. And this song, by the way, was uploaded in August.
I don't know if he references
1 month before Charlie Kirk was assassinated. So back to that August time frame, indicating that Charlie Kirk's assassination was being planned by some group of people. That's what it seems like, 1 month in advance. So this is person number 4. This is individual number 4 that knew about this in advance. Let's make it 5. This person posted on September 3rd, 2025, 7 days before Charlie Kirk was assassinated. They said, it would be funny if someone like Charlie Kirk got shot on September 10th. On September 10th, they said they posted this a week before he died. That's a pretty specific date. And then you know what they said following up? They said Donald Trump, December 14th. Donald Trump, December 14th. That's what they said after Charlie Kirk had been killed. Folks, this is the fifth person. This is the fifth person. Let's make it 6. We were talking about this video game streaming platform, Steam.
Bear with me.
That all of these people, these furries, these transgender furries are all communicating on. Well, there is a Steam group. It's a community on this video game platform that the shooter was a part of. The shooter was a part of this group. And the name of the group is Read This If You Are Gay, which, by the way, this phrase, if you read this, you are gay, was literally etched on one of the shell casings.
Yeah, so one of the bullet casings that was found that wasn't fired said, if you read this, you are gay, LMAO, laughing my ass off. Now, he's writing things from groups he's a part of. This group right here, read this, if you read this, you are gay. That's what he wrote in the bullet casings he had in his gun. Now it's being explained here. He's taking it from trans sites, furry sites, and others that he is personally going to. This is where he's getting them from.
From the shooter. Do you remember this? So this is the name of this Steam group that the shooter was a part of. And there was a message posted on the day that Charlie Kirk was assassinated in the group. It says, be careful over the shit that you say online. And then he goes on to recommend this other user, Cherry Sylvion, who is also a furry, goes on to say, end-to-end encrypted messaging platforms like Signal exist for a reason, or use PGP. So what this person is saying, listen, be careful what you say on the internet. You need to only be sending each other encrypted messages. They go on to say, yes, this is directly referencing a very specific thing that has happened. What do you think they're talking about? The assassination of Charlie Kirk. Are we connecting all the dots here, guys? I'm telling you, this was premeditated. This was planned. At this point, this guy, Tyler Robinson, we know he wasn't acting alone because we know that to some degree he was communicating with his gay transsexual furry roommate, his lover. But now also look at these online groups they're part of. Look at these other people that all knew that this attack was going to happen preemptively, some of them up to a month, up to 5 weeks in advance. 5 weeks in advance. And then the story gets even stranger because now we're hearing this. Neighbors of Charlie Kirk's assassin, Tyler Robinson, and the gay transsexual roommate, the neighbors say Kirk's killer had shady visitors before the murder. Charlie Kirk's killer, Tyler Robinson.
All right, let's pause here for 1 minute because one of my users on TikTok was asking about this. So the person that posted the song, Charlie Kirk Dead at 31, was what user 0167 was talking about. SoundCloud song by Sky Valadez, another trans person. I don't know. I know you're saying that he's allegedly killed himself. Let's see if this article says that. Here's all the songs linked to Charlie Kirk shooter and online speculation. What is Charlie Kirk Dead at 31 SoundCloud song by Sky Valadez? The question emerged after the fatal shooting of activist Charlie Kirk in Utah on September 10th, 25. Online discussions suggest that Utah-based musician Sky Valadez uploaded 2 songs. Charlie Kirk Dead at 31, and Charlie Kirk's Death Isn't Enough for Me. 4chan had identified Sky Valdez as the shooter originally. These claims quickly spread across X, but authorities have not formed any connection. I mean, we obviously know who it was now. There's Tyler. Here's the trans person that made Charlie Kirk shot at 31 here. Valdez has been described by users as a digital artist who produced tracks in the experimental and political genre. A name linked to one of the projects was God's Finest Scalpel, which included provocative titles critical of American politics. The track Charlie Kirk Dead at 31 was allegedly uploaded in August of 25, about a month before Kirk was shot. Users claim the song was later deleted, though screenshots were shared online and archived through the Wayback Machine. And here's somebody, Fuzzy Momani, putting multiple accounts reporting that identified the Charlie Kirk shooter. 4chan Intel identified suspect Sky Valadez had a SoundCloud with a track that was uploaded with a track a month ago titled Charlie Kirk Dead at 31, deleted the track and changed his location. So this might have been one of the first people that they were looking at. Hold on one second. So I just got kicked off TikTok because they're claiming I'm giving misinformation. This isn't misinformation. The story I'm sharing is they originally thought this was the shooter that uploaded a song and then found out that it wasn't. So for what it's worth, and I waste my time with TikTok because they're a bunch of commie pieces of shit. And they hate truth. And the appeal's been submitted, but 140 views, 2 new followers, 20 comments, and we got some gifts on there as well. So thank you to everybody for that. And there's that. I told you I was going to get kicked off TikTok, but I honestly thought I wouldn't last that long. So there's that. But a second track reportedly titled Charlie Kirk's Death Isn't Enough for Me was also attributed to Valadez. Some posts claimed that it was included in a digital album called Death to American Scum, which the left are American scum, so these ones are just hypocrites. But one person says, how the fuck did Sky Valadez dude publish songs on SoundCloud with the titles Charlie Kirk Dead at 31 and Charlie Kirk's Death Isn't Enough for Me without raising the alarms of SoundCloud employees, others who saw them, etc.? Unfucking believable. So, to clarify for some people here, and I've learned this online as I've been watching other podcasts and learning things, people will create either book titles or song titles way in advance that they think is going to be something, and then they save it, and then they don't do anything with it. And then, should the event happen, they update what they created with the new event that just happened now, and then they upload everything after they're done. So, it seems like they were like this prophet who came up with something like out of nowhere. But what it was is they're putting on their radical left-wing Christmas list online, and they're waiting for the thing to happen. So it'll be the death of Charlie Kirk, and then it'll be the death of Ben Shapiro, and then it'll be the death of Donald Trump, the assassination of Donald Trump or Ben Shapiro, etc. And then should that event happen and be successful, they will go back on, find the title that they originally created, and they'll upload all of their newest information to it and then post it from there. So basically, it's the radical left wing's Christmas wish list. And that's the reason in this particular instance that you're seeing it a month earlier, like as if they knew it was going to happen. It isn't. It's just their Christmas wish list. It's like me saying, I want a horse for Christmas, and then I put it up a month from now, or, I put it here and then set it for a month from now, and then my whole situation changes, and I get some sugar mama who buys me a horse, and then I go, see? Told you I was going to get a horse. And it was bullshit. I set up something to happen for the convenient time frame. So, social media users pointed to changes on Valdez's SoundCloud account. They said the profile location originally listed Ogden, Utah, but was later altered to the phrase, "Leave me alone." This change was interpreted by some as suspicious after the shooting. Others noted that Valadez had once debated Charlie Kirk during a previous tour stop, Adding more weight to the speculation in online forums, these discussions included claims that Valadez had been seen at a political event where Kirk appeared. So there was some talk when the shooting happened that it was somebody who had had a bad debate with Charlie and they wanted revenge. Or it was a debate with Charlie and they were very upset with him and they wanted to take their revenge. That's why they were looking at this person. All right, so just to clarify that, we got kicked off TikTok. I'm sorry for my buddy there that I was trying to give him more information. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to update those guys. I'm going to do a little bit more here, and because we're coming on almost 2 hours, and I'm going to get to the final story about TMZ. I just want to do a little bit more, and then we're going to get to that because TMZ ended up lying to everyone. TMZ was online, and they got the information that Charlie Kirk was shot, and then you heard the scumbag pieces of shit in the background. They started cheering and clapping. So TMZ, because they got a huge backlash from this, TMZ came out, lied to everyone, and said the people in the back were cheering because of a car chase, not because they were happy that Charlie Kirk died. And now people, and I've done a show about it already and said this is absolute fucking bullshit, hold TMZ responsible. But now people are coming out with the receipts and showing there was the car chase where nothing was happening. And in the middle of the car chase, they came out and said, Charlie Kirk's dead. And that's when all the employees from TMZ cheer and clap when they get the news. So we're going to get to that. Just bear with me for 1 minute. I'm going to get a little bit more from here, and then we're going to move on.
And reportedly had suspicious visitors at his home just 2 weeks before the assassination.
So we went on a side rant. We talked some other things. I'm going to update you here. They're talking about Tyler, where Tyler was staying with his trans boyfriend. They're saying that suspicious people and license plates in different cars started showing up to his home. So neighbor says Kirk's killer had shady visitors before the murder. Charlie Kirk's killer, Tyler Robinson, reportedly had suspicious visitors at his home 2 weeks before the assassination, according to the New York Post. A neighbor told reporters that several people with an out-of-state license plates were seen coming and going from the $1,800 a month townhouse Robinson shared with his trans lover, Lance Twiggs, the neighbor. They did not give off a good vibe to me personally, is what that neighbor is saying. Here it is.
According to the neighbors, as reported by the New York Post, a neighbor told reporters that several people with out-of-state license plates were seen coming and going from the $1,800 a month townhouse that Robinson shared with Lance Twiggs. The neighbor said explicitly they did not give off a good vibe. Folks, this is I guess this townhouse they lived in here. This is where they lived.
Oh, they restored my life.
Good God. Good. Are you guys piecing this together with me? This is getting out of control. Now, earlier today, we have a video coming out of Utah Governor Spencer Cox.
Let's see if...
He talks about whether or not the shooter, Tyler Robinson, is cooperating with the FBI. What is the current state of Tyler Robinson? We're going to listen to this real quick, but first we have a super chat or two I want to take a look at. This is Claire Culp. Claire Culp says,
I'm going to go back
I
on
am
live
trans
for what
and
it's
I
worth
condemn
on
Charlie
TikTok.
Kirk's assassination. I also served in the Air Force. Only transitioned after I got out. I am conservative also. Well, hey, you know, I think we can all say we appreciate that. We appreciate that. I think that's a nice thing to say. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thank you.
My phone.
This is from John Mitchell. Says, breaking news, investigation into Charlie Kirk's assassination widens to probe radical pro-trans online groups. Yeah, that's what we're talking about here today. Thank you, John.
So the people I lost on TikTok, today. I don't know if I'm going to get you back.
This is Mind Blocked.
I got restored and I'm back on.
This seriously, does the FBI haven't seen this information? This is too suspicious stuff. Listen, I'm telling you something here. I have been looking at this stuff. You know, you guys know I've been here all day in my computer, all day, every day, breaking this stuff down. I'm figuring out, I think if I can piece this stuff together with you guys and we are able to piece it together, the FBI has got to know this stuff, right? The FBI. Yeah, so I'm gonna stop with this one right here. Shout out to Matt Morse TV for the information that you came up with. I appreciate it.
Also, check him out if you go online. I try to give kudos where they're due to other people where, I don't want to be leeching their stuff like a scumbag. So I thank them for what they have and give them a shout out as well. Asmongold does the same thing. He's way, way above me. But if he's seeing something from somebody else's page, he gives them a thank you and he gives them a promotion for their page. So say, please give me a like and subscribe, and then please give Matt Morse TV a subscribe and like as well for that. But so that's the information on him and the new info that's coming out about Tyler Robinson, his trans boyfriend, how he went radical left. And thanks for everybody that's joining me on TikTok right now. I got kicked off. They claimed misinformation. It ended up getting corrected, and I got my live access back on again. So I lost some people, and thank you for everybody that's rejoining. But so that's the information on the shooter, his trans boyfriend, his how he went radically left, and that he's not a conservative. I know the left is trying to twist this, and they're trying to say he's conservative. He wasn't. His family was. He ended up going radically left, and that's what he turned into. So now let's move on to kind of one final thing here. Apparently the French are going nuts. I'm going to get to this later. The French are going nuts because allegedly Emmanuel Macron is stepping down and he's chosen a new prime minister. So apparently Candace Owens is broken Emmanuel Macron. But I'm going to get to this story probably tomorrow because I want to follow the TMZ thing. But the French are absolutely losing their minds and rioting. You know what? Here's a little bit of the French. Let's just do one more quick thing here before we get to the follow-up with TNZ. Here's the French. Just to cleanse our palates a little bit from the trans shooter, here is the riots that are currently happening in France after apparently Emmanuel Macron has stepped down and chosen a new prime minister to take his place. So riots in Paris, riots in France. So to give you a very brief context here, France erupts in chaos. Riots block everything. Protests pile pressure on Macron to quit. Though the news is stating that he has stepped down as prime minister. Riots and mass protests erupted across France on Wednesday, a day after President Emmanuel Macron appointed Sébastien Lecornu as the country's new prime minister. The demonstrations, branded as the Block Everything or the Bleu Cointon movement, came amid mounting pressure on Macron to step down from the office. The unrest followed the removal of François Bayrou, after which Macron named his 39-year-old ally Lecornu as prime minister. Lecornu, now the fifth person to hold the post in the last 2 years, began his tenure under what many are calling political baptism by fire, as instability continues to dominate France's political landscape. Thousands took to the streets of Paris on Wednesday, where protesters blocked roads and set buses on fire. According to France's Interior Ministry, at least 200 individuals were arrested during the violent clashes. The riots also damaged a railway power line, disrupting transport services. One protester told AFP that Macron's decision to appoint a loyalist was a slap in the face, while a representative from the RATP transport branch of the CGT union told Reuters, "It's the same shit, it's the same. It's Macron who's the problem, not the ministers." So I'm wondering if Candace Owens finally broke Emmanuel Macron, but here's more of the riots currently happening in France. Thank you to all the new viewers on TikTok. Welcome to the show. Oui, oui, ha, ha. So did Candace Owens end up breaking Emmanuel Macron? Let me know in the comments what you think. Because apparently he's chosen a successor and apparently intends to step down. And chaos in France as the people are upset about them not having the ability to vote on who they would like to run the country. So Emmanuel Macron has chosen a new prime minister, just as Justin Trudeau did that in Canada. Rather than having a proper election, he chose someone to take his place. And another radical as bad as he is. All right, so this is France for everybody that's just joining us on TikTok. Riots in France as there's a change of power between prime ministers. Emmanuel Macron stepping down to put in a new prime minister. Just a quick recap here. I won't do the whole thing. You know, and the left do love their revolutions. Think of the French Revolution. Cut off the king's head with a guillotine. I mean, when they get there, they're pretty brutal. But apparently it takes them some time. Fires being set in buildings.
Prendre un extincteur et tenter d'éteindre cet incendie puisque les pompiers ne sont pas encore arrivés. Les manifestants de leur côté ont reculé d'une vingtaine de mètres.
You know what? There's Nepal as well. Nepal is blowing up as well. I'll do that very quickly, just for shits and giggles. All right, so Nepal is going through something similar. I'm gonna try and get to my. I'm on the verge of being kicked off TikTok, so bear with me. But this guy does India. That's pretty crazy. That's not what I'm looking for. Here we're gonna go to Nepal and the political riots that are happening in Nepal. Just for shits and giggles, you can see what's going on here.
In just 24 hours, Nepal's Gen Z toppled a prime minister, triggered an unprecedented army intervention, and changed the course of their country's
we've all been
history.
joking around. She does have a mic. We all joke around and said the rioters took her microphone. She does have a microphone. It's one of the little TikTok ones, the little furry TikTok ones, and it's in her hand. But it looks like her microphone got stolen, and she's pretending she's got one.
So, how did they do it? It all began Monday morning. Thousands of young Nepalis on the streets demanding an end to corruption. By afternoon, it was chaos. Mobs on motorbikes stormed in and crowds broke through barricades into parliament. Police responded with tear gas, water cannons, rubber bullets, and even live rounds. So, what sparked it? Well, years of corruption scandals, from shady Airbus deals to politicians' kids flaunting luxury on TikTok. The last straw was a sudden ban on social media apps, including Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and WhatsApp. The government rolled back the ban, but the protests intensified on Tuesday. Then the PM resigned, but young people were so angry it didn't matter.
This is the moment that the Prime Minister of Nepal has resigned. As you can see, though, protesters are still angry and continue to vandalise public property.
Protesters torched government institutions, the PM's private residence, and even media houses linked to the establishment. They say for decades, Nepal's leaders have failed to deliver. Since abolishing the monarchy in 2008, there have been 14 governments.
There's one video of what's going on in Nepal. I don't know if I have it here. I'm going to look. They have to evacuate the political officials from Nepal by helicopter, by a rope that they throw down to, like, the presidential palace. It's crazy. Nepal is off the hook right now.
Corruption, unemployment, and stagnant growth remain the reality for most Nepalis. After 2 days of protests, the army stepped in, patrolling the streets, securing key locations, and bringing back a degree of normalcy. They've even engaged protesters in talks about what comes next. They want to find a calm way forward, but there's a leadership vacuum. One name emerging for leadership is Balen Shah, Kathmandu's rapper turned mayor, known for anti-corruption reforms and a huge
rapper
youth
turned
following.
mayor.
A lot
By the
of
way,
young
that's
people
the one
want him
that
to guide Nepal towards democratic elections
is in New York
and maybe
as well.
even lead the country.
Mamdani?
The path forward is unclear, but
He
no
rapped
matter
first,
what
too.
happens next, Nepal's Gen Z have made history. In just 24 hours,
So
Nepal's
Mamdani in New York that's running for governor, he was rapping too. His family is rich. His mom is a movie producer, and his father is works at a college, is college professor somewhere. This guy is in Nepal, I believe, and he's showing some more shit too. I'm going to show you here. But Mamdani in New York, same deal. Rapper, knucklehead that wants to represent the people. I'll show you some more from Nepal right here.
Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. And right now, you can save £50 per person. That's £200 off for
I have
a
another
family
video
of
for
four.
him where it's serious.
We've got millions of free child place holidays available with 22 kilograms
Nothing
of baggage.
beats a Jet2 holiday, and now you can save £50. Okay, hold on. I have another one from him. We will attempt to find it. But in the meantime, I'm going to show you this guy right here to show you how good the Nepali people are that are rioting and protesting against the government. They're so good that a bus of tourists go through, and they safely let the tourists go through the area while waving to them and saying hello, while the Nepali rioters are burning the city down and going after government officials. Here's some of that right here.
Waving, moving people out of the way. They're like, "Thanks for coming to Nepal." Like,
Hold on.
Moving people out of the way.
No,
They're like,
shut the fuck up.
Waving, moving people out.
No!
Waving, moving people out of.
For God's sake.
Waving, moving people out of the way.
Ah.
They're like, "Thanks for coming to Nepal. Like, hope you had a wonderful time." The shit's on fire behind them. It's amazing. Waving, moving people out of the way. They're like, "Thanks for coming."
So this
to
guy, the
Nepal."
tourist bus is going through, and they're like, "Thanks, welcome to Nepal," and the whole thing's on fire, but they safely let him go. I don't know if I have. I don't have the serious one of him. I thought I saved that somewhere. The day Nepal woke up. Let's check this one out. Here's Nepal, the riots against government. Here he is. The serious one.
We are doing this because they deserve. We can do it. We can Nepal. Your can do it. This is for Nepal. People can do it, and we will save Nepal. Goodbye. The army are gone. We shall riot police.
It's still police shit.
This is each other laughing, helping each other out. What does that mean? Wild, wild, wild. Get away! I cannot believe it! Oh, brother! Hello! Your last trick झंडा! Your last trick झंडा! No! You're a journalist, Bagus!
Okay, so that's Nepal. Nepal is blowing up right now as well. No, that's not it. I need the other one where he's serious. I could have sworn I liked it and saved it. Could be wrong. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Could have sworn I liked it when he was there, but anyway, he's a kind of traveling blogger. This guy right here, he's in Nepal and he's in the middle of the riots and he's recording all of it, and some crazy stuff going on there as well. Okay, so we've been going for 2 hours. I'm going to attempt to wrap the show up here, and I'm going to talk about the final thing. So we've talked about the shooter. We've talked about the tranny lover that killed Charlie Kirk, and there was one show that I put up because that people are outing leftist nut jobs that are celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. But there's one here where TMZ, so you know TMZ is a network that are parasites that chase around the movie and showbiz and musicians and everything, and they try and record their lives and get all of them. TMZ was on live at the time that Charlie Kirk was killed, and their staff, to give you some context on this, because I've already done an update on it, their staff end up cheering and clapping when they get the news that Charlie Kirk was dead. Now, TMZ has come out since that time and said, we want to make it clear, our staff was watching a car chase. They were not celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. We would never do that, and we would fire anyone that felt that way. Well, I've already come out with a video where I said I was looking at the car chase they were watching and the updates on Charlie Kirk, and they were not clapping for the car chase. They were clapping because Charlie Kirk was dead. And I've shown the proof. Now additional information is coming out where these fucking left-wing pieces of shit at TMZ were clapping and hooting and hollering for the death of Charlie Kirk. Here is all the proof right here from TMZ. TMZ needs to fire every one of those staff members, and they need to take responsibility for their actions. Here it is.
Dismissed the TMZ stuff because I was thinking like, oh, I get it. So I initially dismissed this because I was like, I don't think this is a big deal. Well, it is. Here we go.
You know, TMZ comes out and everybody around the world finds out when the phone alert, Charlie Kirk is dead, right? Your phone is blowing up. No matter where you are, your phone is blowing up with text messages saying Charlie Kirk is dead. This is Harvey, who runs TMZ. It's a place known, I've been inside that place. It's a place that's known for having cameras everywhere. That's what you're known for. You're talking live all the time, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's what TMZ is known for. You have cameras everywhere. That's your business model. That's how you blew up.
I was with you in every corner of every room. They capture every reaction.
You remember that?
Yep.
There's cameras everywhere.
Yep.
So perfect. If you're telling me there's cameras everywhere, and then this is how they react, employees of TMZ, when the announcement is made that Charlie Kirk has died, and then listen to his explanation afterwards. Go ahead, Rob.
Go.
That's the announcement. Exact second it
There
was
were people
announced.
cheering in the background.
We're live streaming.
Oh, Rob, I don't
all
want you to
day.
show that. I actually want you to show the whole thing. There's another clip that I have that I posted in the notes, Rob. I don't know if you see that one or not.
Is this the one, Pat?
The one from Instagram. Play that one because I want people to see 10 seconds prior to that to see how it goes. Watch this.
So what you've got here is Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, Cobra Cast, and then you got the PBD, the Patrick Bet-David podcast. He's watching this. He's showing all of it, and they're showing the proof, which I've already done in an update, and now you're going to see it again. And they're really going to, somebody is really going to break it down, blow it up, and show you that the progressive leftist pieces of trash at TMZ were celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. Here's all of it.
We're going to
So
see
they don't know
an
yet.
image
Nope.
of this guy.
There's just live streaming.
So again, when this whole story came up, I really was like, oh, guys, TMZ, we can't be too upset. You know, there's something going on in the background. Now that I see this broken down completely, I 100% understand now. Something's up, and the way Patrick Bet-David presented this, it makes him look really bad.
Possibly in the next
Watch
20
this.
minutes. The news
You'll hear
conference
it.
is scheduled for 3 o'clock in Utah time, which is 2 o'clock Pacific.
Hear it?
5 o'clock Eastern. Janet, go.
The announcement is made.
People cheering in the
That is
background.
They realize how
This is crazy.
They announced Charlie Kirk's
You know,
dead.
again, I gave them the benefit of the doubt because there was so much stuff going on that I was like, man, they have a lot going on in their newsroom. I gave them the benefit of the doubt. Wait, because it gets worse.
Go
embarrassing
to
that this is. His partner's
have
going to the
somebody
back to
look
tell everybody
at
to be quiet.
the Fox.
Yeah, somebody go back. On
Look,
Trump just posted that Charlie Kirk is dead.
yeah, you're right, Pat. He went to the back.
He went to shut the hell up.
Yeah, yeah. So now watch. Now,
What did Trump say?
okay, forget about this, Rob. Now go to, so the second. So then what do they do? Can you, if they go on ChatGPT, can you tell me exactly at this time that there was another crisis that took place in California for us to say that we were reacting to? They make the argument that they're reacting to, not you, Rob. I'm saying that's what they did. So they make the argument later on. Do you have the video of them saying what they were reacting to?
Yeah, him
I
and the
think you have
producer
it.
guy.
Yeah, and so this is when they're looking at it. Watch this here, folks.
We're live streaming all day during this tragedy. When something happened in our office, as we were reporting the assassination of Charlie Kirk, there were some people in the back room away from our news desk here who were watching a car chase. And
They weren't in the back. They were over here in this area. You could hear these dumb cunts over here. And they were watching during the car chase, and someone's going to show you here when they're talking about the video. In the car chase, they break the news of the California car chase to say Charlie Kirk has been murdered by an assassin. That's when the dumb cunts at TMZ end up cheering and clapping when they get the news. You're going to see it here.
And they were laughing, they were clapping, and you could hear it out here.
There is nothing in a car chase that would make a group of people.
Correct.
It sounded like they were watching a football game. That's what it
Yeah.
sounded like. It sounded like they were watching a football game. Why
When
would you cheer?
when you see the video of the car chase, you're going to go, what the fuck was so exciting? And the answer is simple. It's there's nothing. It's because they broke in the middle of the car chase to say Charlie Kirk was dead. That's why the leftist pieces of fucking garbage at TMZ are clapping and cheering. When you see the video, it's a cop car chasing a white Ford Focus down the road. And then it takes a turn and turns into another residential area. There is nothing fucking exciting about that video at all. Nothing. These left-wing pieces of trash at TMZ cheer because they interrupt the bullshit, know-nothing, boring car chase that they're watching to say Charlie Kirk is dead. He's been assassinated. That's why the leftist cunts in this video cheer and clap. The pieces of fucking human garbage at TMZ come back on to say we would like to make it clear that the people that work for us weren't clapping for Charlie's death. They were clapping for a car chase. A fucking car chase. Who believes that bullshit? Who is unless it was the cops chasing OJ in the white Bronco, who has clapped and hoot and hollered about what the fuck you're seeing on there? Unless the car chase ended in him hitting a barrier, jumping in the air, turning into Batman, driving over rooftops with the Batmobile while he's being chased. What the fuck are you clapping and hooting and hollering about? And the answer is, it's fucking bullshit. TMZ is full of progressive leftist pieces of shit. And you're going to see it right here.
In unison like that during a car chase.
And we want to make a couple of things clear.
You want to make a couple of things clear? Fuck
I know
you.
these people, and they were not laughing. They were not reacting that way about Charlie Kirk's
bull fucking shit.
They were not. They would not work here if they did. And
They
that
wouldn't
being
work
said,
here? Then put your fucking money where your mouth is. Fire those leftist cunts right now, and you motherfuckers can step down right now because you're full of shit. You're about to see the truth of what happened here. I already did a story on it. I already posted on it. Now you got some people on the internet that are bringing the receipts and really showing it. Here it is.
That it was horrible timing, and for that we are sorry. We apologize. We apologize.
We apologize. Go fuck yourself.
And I get why if you're watching the stream, you may have felt that that's what the laughter was about. We assure you, it was
When
not
laughter
about
is
We assure you. I can assure you can suck my
horrible
dick.
timing.
Okay,
And by the way, I
do you
get
believe
it too.
them?
Do you believe them?
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
So here's
car
PBD.
chase.
Okay.
This is the car chase. Let us just show you,
Yeah.
and you tell me if you believe them. Go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, let's find it.
Tell me if this is the kind of a car chase that you would celebrate and scream. Tell me if it's that euphoric.
Here it is. Car chase.
On the banner below, you can see it started in Temple City, and we saw
White
that.
SUV.
Go ahead,
25
Philip.
miles an
Well, I
hour.
wanted to let you
Stops
know
the
that
intersection,
President
takes a
Trump
left.
has said Charlie Kirk has died. So that
Well,
is the
Cops chasing him.
breaking news that we are likely
Waiting for the
about
excitement.
to have with ABC News.
They break.
He was shot.
Charlie
in
Kirk
Utah,
is dead.
at a college there. We've been talking about that throughout the
Pause,
afternoon here.
pause,
You
Rob. Okay, so he's not lying. They are watching a car chase, and they are reacting to a car chase because the announcer on the car chase said that Charlie Kirk is dead. Thank you. So Harvey is essentially in his mind, well, we're not lying. Go back 20 seconds again, Rob, and watch what happens. Go back a little bit more. Go. Right there. Watch what the announcer said. Here's the car chase that they're talking about. Temple City. Go ahead.
that President Trump has said Charlie Kirk has died. So that's
the
what they're
reacting
breaking news
to.
that
Yep,
we are likely
that's not the
about
car
to
check.
have
Yep.
with ABC News.
So
he was.
So there you go. At TMZ in their office, they're watching this bullshit car chase. They interrupt the car chase to say Charlie Kirk has been murdered by an assassin. At the same time that they announce it, they're watching this boring, nothing burger of a chase happening right here. And all the leftist pieces of shit erupt into clapping and cheers at this point. What have you seen right now when they erupt into clapping and cheers? A white SUV being chased down the road by a police cruiser. Is anything happening in this situation right here that you would lose your goddamn mind over? Is there a GTA 6 situation happening right here that you would lose your mind over?
Really bad. Now, there's more to this, and the argument that Patrick Bet David makes, even though I know that there's the one guy in the chat that doesn't like PBD, so I know, like, I'm waiting. If you can send me the link to that, podcaster that you agree with 100% on everything, we can cure that problem. But PBD also brings up a point about how everybody, like everything at TMZ, they have cameras everywhere. They have cameras everywhere because it's a working studio. All they got to do is show the footage to prove Harvey right, and I don't think they can.
So they're watching the car chase.
So, yeah.
The announcer announces Charlie Kirk's dead,
and it seems like in all likelihood that's when they cheer.
You tell me
there's
what
nothing excitable
while
going
that
on there.
second the car
This
chase.
isn't O.J. Simpson and the White Bronco.
Exactly.
Pat, that
Right.
I'm sorry. That the first of all, disgusting of who they are. What TMZ, like somebody, an ex-employee claims. These are claims all over that I saw on X that the newsroom was filled with hateful, angry, progressive energy, and he said it would, without question, laugh at Charlie Kirk getting shot. Shame on them. Shame on them for lying. Shame, like, have the balls to just tell the truth.
So did you hear that? A former employee of TMZ wrote on X and said, I used to work for TMZ. And he said, I can tell you that the TMZ newscast officials and crew are full of progressive, leftist pieces of shit that would absolutely cheer for the death of Charlie Kirk. Now you see the video that I'm posting up right in here, and I've also already done an update on where these scumbags cheer in the background, because before this blew up, the video comes on, it shows those two shitbags, the one with the dreadlocks and the other scumbag who do the normal news updates about where they harass and chase people around and, you know, go through the dumpsters and find out what the celebrities are doing because they're fucking parasites. They come on and go, oh God, okay, we've just gotten word that Trump has come on social media and said Charlie Kirk has been assassinated. And in the background at that time, you hear all the leftist cunts cheering, clapping, and losing their minds in the other, like, media viewing room in the back. And then it blew up and turned into a whole big thing where everyone was going, all of your staff were celebrating that Charlie Kirk was assassinated. So then these bullshit artists, these lying scumbags come on and go, look, we'd like to clarify that that at the same time, or roughly within the time that we got the update about Charlie Kirk being killed, our staff was watching a chase in California, a car chase, and that's what they were cheering and hooting and hollering about. Now, you've just seen the video of the car chase. It is an absolute nothing burger. Nothing is happening there. The SUV didn't jump off a ramp, jump a sign, and land in the fucking pier or the ocean or something. It goes through an intersection, takes a turn, drives down a road, and a police cruiser is following it. The most boring fucking shit you've ever seen without playing GTA 5 on your own. So they're absolutely full of fucking shit. The people at TMZ, in case you didn't already know, they were parasites and absolute fucking scumbags. Here is all of the proof for that.
You know what, guys? We're freaking leftists. We're progressive. You know what? Charlie is a voice that says stuff that we don't like. We are happy that he was shot in the freaking neck in front of his family.
I don't know if it's the entire organization. Let me tell you.
No, I'm saying what this.
They lied. I don't care if it's the entire organization.
And I believe that.
You lied.
Yes.
That I believe.
This is the guy, Pat.
No, I believe that exists.
Yes.
That those types of people are in there. This is the question I want to ask all of you guys. Do you believe Harvey's happy that Charlie Kirk is dead? I don't believe so.
I don't think that's his
Do
personality.
you believe
no.
the guy to the right believes he's happy Charlie Kirk is dead?
I don't
believe
those
that.
two guys.
I think the guy on the right is actually fairly reasonable. They're
Fucking
probably
piece of shit
both on
phone
the
died.
left,
There goes
but I
TikTok.
don't think they're happy Charlie Kirk is dead. The question I want to ask you is the following. Here's a question I want to ask you, okay? You said the price of freedom of speech is freedom of speech.
That's right.
Okay, fair. We're not happy by the way those employees reacted. They're celebrating. These guys are not telling the truth. Harvey, respectfully, you're not telling the truth. You're telling the truth that they reacted to a car chase. Yes, but they reacted to what the announcer on the car chase said, not the actual car chase. There was nothing exciting happening the same exact second, the same exact minute to have that kind of a euphoric reaction. Okay? That's absolutely embarrassing. If you have all the cameras all over the place, that's your business model. Show the camera footage. You have it. What were they reacting to? You have the camera footage in the back. Everywhere in that facility has cameras.
thank the internet detectives who timestamped the laughing and clapping in the TMZ newsroom to the exact moment they announced Charlie Kirk's official passing. These ghouls tried to double down on the lie and got caught. Disgusting. I haven't seen this, but Steph just sent this to me.
Oh, I don't need TMZ's cameras. There's nothing I love more than a good investigation, and I'm coming to you guys with the receipts.
Janet, go.
So look at that. So he gets the message from one of his other shitbags. At the same time he's getting the message, all the left-wing pieces of garbage over here in one of these other viewing rooms are cheering, clapping, hooting, and hollering that they just got the message, which happens in the middle of the car chase. They don't get rid of the car chase. They keep showing it. A news broadcaster breaks in the news to announce in the middle of the car chase Charlie Kirk has been assassinated, and all these left-wing cunts start hooting and hollering and clapping, and they try to play this off as it was the car chase, it wasn't the murder of Charlie Kirk. Absolute fucking bullshit.
Go to have somebody look at the Fox. Trump just posted that Charlie Kirk is dead. As we were reporting the assassination of Charlie Kirk, there were some people in the back room away from our news desk here who were watching a car chase.
Who were watching
and
a car
they
chase.
were
And
laughing,
they
were clapping.
They were clapping.
And you could hear it out here.
Exhibit
And
A.
they came in their pants. And the only reason that happened is because a white SUV drove through an intersection, and then a police officer followed him through the intersection, and oh boy, golly gee, the left-wing cunt pieces of garbage in our newsroom, well, they lost their goddamn minds, and they thought it was the absolute most amazing thing ever, because an SUV drove that way, and then a fucking cop car went the same fucking way and followed him. And they were like, ah! Like, you fucking pieces of shit. Fuck you, TMZ. You leftist, radical, progressive cunts.
The alleged car chase that they were watching.
Right there on the banner below, you can see it started in Temple City, and we saw that. Go ahead, Philip.
Well, I wanted to let you know that President Trump has said Charlie Kirk has died. So that is the breaking news that we are likely about to have with ABC News.
Right in the middle of the car chase.
B, the giant clocks around their office. Exhibit C, don't worry, you won't have to do the math because I've done it for you.
Internet autism always fucking wins. Always.
It is 1:07 and 15 seconds in the afternoon, with the timestamp on their video of 3 hours, 42 minutes, and 5 seconds.
For 3 o'clock in Utah time, which is 2 o'clock Pacific.
Exhibit D, we have the cheering starting at exactly 4 hours, 17 minutes, and 15 second mark, which is a difference of 35 minutes and 10 seconds. So if you take the timestamp plus the clock saying it was 1:07 and 15 seconds, add 35 minutes and 15 seconds, what time would you have? 1:43. So they technically were watching a car chase video. What do you think they were cheering for?
People in the back room away from our news desk here who were watching a car chase, and they were laughing, they were clapping.
Yeah,
and you could
they
hear
were,
it
you
out
lying
here.
piece of fucking shit.
And
but it was
we
for
wanna
Charlie
make
Kirk.
A couple of things clear.
Scumbag.
One is that I know these people, and
You
they
know
were
these
not
people. Is that right?
Laughing, they were not reacting that way about Charlie Kirk's assassination.
Fuck you.
They were not. They would not work here if
They wouldn't
did.
work here?
For what
Fucking
it's
fire
worth,
them
I
and
worked at
fire
TMZ
yourself,
for a few
faggot.
years. I can say, with rare exception, the newsroom was filled with hateful, angry progressives that would, without a question, laugh at Charlie Kirk getting shot. There you have.
There you go. A former employee who claims that he used to work there, Kevin Dalton, verified on X, who says, for what it's worth, I worked at TMZ for a few years. I can say with rare exception, the newsroom was filled with hateful, angry progressives that would, without question, laugh at Charlie Kirk getting shot. These two lying pieces of fucking trash. In case you hadn't figured it out already, that these fucking parasites' only job is to chase Hollywood people around, singers around, get shots of them, catch them in compromising positions, right? They're the parasites and scum of the fucking universe, not just the planet. Want to come online and clarify for all of you that their shitbag scum employees were in the back cheering for a mediocre, boring, nothing happening car chase that happened to break with the information that Charlie Kirk was assassinated. And the reason that their piece of shit garbage employees were cheering was not because Charlie Kirk was assassinated. It was because of the most boring fucking car chase in Los Angeles that you have ever seen in your fucking life. That's what they clapped and lost their mind over. The most boring version of GTA 6 I could ever play. Their staff members were laughing and clapping and hooting and hollering over it. So where's the truth between these two pieces of leftist garbage that are defending their leftist garbage employees? The answer is their leftist garbage employees were cheering over the assassination of Charlie Kirk. In case you hadn't already figured it out, TMZ is a shit garbage organization full of progressive, leftist, shit human beings, and the fucking place should be burned down with every one of those fucking pieces of garbage in it. In a perfect world that doesn't exist, because we don't advocate for violence. But in a perfect world, TMZ and every piece of garbage should be burned down with every one of those motherfuckers in it. In a perfect, hypothetical, that doesn't exist world.
Have it right there. So, all you got to do, man, is just be honest about shit. I think this looks really bad on TMZ personally. So, again, I gave them the benefit of the doubt. But this don't look good. This don't look good at all. And I'm not buying it. And the reason I gave them the benefit of the doubt was because I watched their reaction. I was like, okay, I get it. They got a lot going on in their newsroom. And I think that's something that I'm trying to get better about anyway, because there's just so much stuff on Twitter that it is hard to figure out what's true and what's not.
Right.
It's impossible.
These people are liars and grifters. They're soulless. They are absolutely capable of lying right to your face. They are capable of doing a video and coming out and saying to you, we want to make it clear, our piece of shit employees were cheering and hooting and hollering for the most boring car chase you've ever seen in your life. That's what they got super excited about because they're retarded. And they definitely weren't cheering over the death and the murder and assassination of Charlie Kirk. We want to come on and make it clear, said TMZ, that was a thing that wasn't happening. Our retarded employees were so excited by the most boring car chase you've ever seen in your life that they lost their goddamn minds in the next room over. They shit themselves over the most boring car chase you've ever seen. And it's definitely not about Charlie Kirk being killed by an assassin. Our staff is definitely not left-wing progressive pieces of shit that love conservatives and patriots being murdered. That's what TMZ is trying to say to you. That's what the lying pieces of garbage, these two lying pieces of shit that had the guts to put their stupid faces on a video and say, we want to be clear. What you saw and you heard, you didn't see and you didn't hear. It was something completely different. Boycott TMZ, make these motherfuckers infamous, and make them go off the air because they're fucking pieces of human garbage.
To try. So I saw the TMZ story. I was like, look, man, I get it. You know, their response makes sense, but looking further into it now, I think they have a lot of explaining to do. A lot. So we shall see.
So there you go. That's the end of that. TMZ, lying pieces of shit. And I've gone for 3 hours. I hope you guys appreciate it. I really do. Because this is my personal time. It's the end of my vacation, by the way. And I've done a show for 3 hours between the shooter of Charlie Kirk and his transgender boyfriend, riots in France, riots in Nepal, and the trash of TMZ lying to you while they clapped and supported the murder of Charlie Kirk. I have gone 3 hours. I do not know what else I can do for you people. I do not know how much I can sacrifice unless I give you my blood. And I don't know what else I can do other than that. Please like, share, and subscribe to the show. I've caught you up with the Charlie Kirk thing and events around the world as best as I can. Nepal, France. I didn't even get to England, honestly. I didn't get to England. England had protests and marches today, too. Displaying Charlie Kirk, by the way. And their huge, massive march that went all the way around Parliament, all the way around Big Ben. And they're fighting back against radical, dangerous, illegal immigrants that are taking over Great Britain. I didn't even have a chance to get to that. Here it is, by the way. And this is the calm part. There's a lot more where they're going at it. Here, France. But massive marches in England. And a tribute to Charlie. Halfway around the world. Picture of him as well, they're going through the crowd. So I hope everyone appreciates it, the time I put in. This has been 3 hours. It's like the Joe Rogan podcast, except maybe it wasn't as interesting. I don't know. You'll have to tell me. But it's been 3 hours long, 3 hours, 12 minutes. So please like, share, and subscribe to the show. Thank you for all the new followers. Thank you for everyone that has viewed today and supported today. I ended up getting kicked off TikTok, getting back on TikTok, and then having my phone die, so I couldn't record on TikTok anymore. So it's been quite the time recording on TikTok. But thanks for everybody that are new followers, new subscribers, and please give me more. It's a show that I'm trying to get off the ground, and I appreciate all the new subscribers that I get, all right? Thank you, everyone. This is all the updates for today. My vacation is over. I have spent it with you. I hope you appreciated it. 3 hours I've spent it with you. And I go back to work tomorrow, and I get my daily ass beatings, and morale beatings will continue until morale improves. All right. Thank you, everyone, and I'll have more updates for you and talk to you again real soon. Thank you, everyone, and enjoy. It's 11:34 in Eastern United States, so enjoy what little time you and I have left. Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone.